Hello, Clash Royale fans. How are you? I hope you're ready for another great day of action here at All Stars Clash Royale. I know I am. It's going to be a lot of back and forth action as we get closer and closer to awarding this massive prize pool with a $17,000 grand prize. That's right, you heard me. $17,000. Hello, welcome. Good morning where I am. Good afternoon maybe where you are. Good middle of the night. For some of you maybe tuning in to see Jack or Benzer or some of those players as well. And thanks for joining us. Here is today's schedule. Oh yeah, Jack, Benzer, the very first match of the day. What a way to kick off this beautiful Friday. And we are still in the best of three. When we get into tomorrow or this weekend for all the big time matches, that's when we'll go to the BO5 format. Jack versus Benzer to kick things off. Miniminter against Yakitori next up. Expo Master and Boss, and what should be a very, very fun one. Teammates on Team Liquid, Razer and Egor go head-to-head in our fourth match of the day. Lciop, one of the greatest to ever play in the East, up against the No-Tilt World Champion line. Then Belikin, the British bomber, up against Hajime, JupiterKing, and Schwarzen. And then we start getting into some more winners matches after that, or some more matches where people have moved on. So we're getting, as you can see, pretty deep into this event now that we're getting into the portion where we actually see people moving forward closer and closer. And you can see here in the upper bracket, the winners bracket, the undefeated bracket on this one, JupiterKing and Schwarzen. Schwarzen has put together now, this is another pretty good run in a solo tournament. Obviously did very well in the No-Tilt World Championship and doing very well here on top of that. JupiterKing might be the favorite here from what I've seen in some of the chat. We'll see how you feel. Of course, one of the big matches, I don't believe it's on the schedule for today. I think this is on the schedule for tomorrow. Ruben and Lucas. Ooh, boy. Let's go with that one. That's going to be a great matchup. And I know Lucas would love a good shot at taking some shine off of currently the number one player in the world in Ruben. And then Wallace and Anaban will also be a fun one. Two members of Pain Gaming this deep in the tournament right now. Down in the elimination side of the bracket, Razer and Egor, one will go home, one will go on. Of course, same thing for Mini and Yaki, Expo and Boss, Jack and Benzer. And then, of course, you can see Belly and Hajime, Lciop and Lion have all moved it one step closer in that Phase 3. But this is the portion of the bracket that doesn't matter if you make it this far. You got to get farther than this if you want to have any shot at making some of that cash. Top 3 get prizes. And let me go ahead and confirm. I had that information confirmed just the other day. Yes, the number one prize, the top prize of this event, of this $25,000 prize pool, is $17,000. Second place is $5,000, and third place is $3,000. So pretty big jump between second, third, and first. Taking down that number one, I mean, for many people, that's a year's salary in a lot of parts of the world. So very, very nice. Big time win for a little bit of work here at Clash Royale. And, of course, number 2 and number 3, $3,000 and $5,000. That's no joke either. So should be a very fun one. As we sort of kick off, we end 2020 with a great tournament like this and move into 2021, we're going to see a lot more stuff like this as well, which I'm very excited about. I'm not really sure what the cards to watch graphic is meant to be here. They've been showing this every week or every day. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by cards to watch, but those are cards, and you will watch them happen during this matchup. I guess there's some of the more popular ones at the moment. Of course, you can see 2 of those right there in the middle. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant have been paired a lot as of late with the Zappies Earthquake deck. Miner is, well, it's Miner. It's the most popular, probably the most popular card in the history of the game, or one of the most popular cards in the history of the game. And then, of course, Tornado. We'll see it get played. We'll see it get played. That's my guess. If I'm going to guess whether or not we see Tornado happen, my guess is yes. Yes is my guess. My guess is yes. So either way, no matter what cards you see, it's going to be a fun one. And again, to remind you guys, those of you who are keeping score at home, we are doing a dual mode tournament. What does that mean, the dual mode tournament? Well, that means that in the best of 3 phase, none of your decks can repeat cards. If you play 2.6 Hog Cycle in game number 1, for the rest of your best of 3, for game 2, game 3, no Hog, no Muskie, no Cannon, no Fireball, no Log, no Skellies, no Ice Golem, that sort of thing. So you must play 24 unique cards over your 3 games in a given match. That's the idea behind the duel mode, the same as you might do in those duels during Clan Wars 2. And it's pretty cool. It's a very diverse meta so far here, which I'm excited about. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. Yeah, someone, Elliot Krantz, saying cards that the players played today the most. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do know is that duel mode has been fun. We've seen a quite varied meta thus far. Some surprises, some interesting notes. And, I spoke to a couple players yesterday, and it's interesting which players are really focusing on trying to think about what their opponent is doing, which players are focusing on their own game. And also, we'll talk a lot about deck order today because, I spoke specifically with Belikin a lot, and I don't want to blow up his spot too much. We'll get into some of his stuff more when he's actually playing. But he gave me some really interesting theory about how you build around these duel battles, around these duel modes, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit and see if some of his theories pay off for other players as well. Danny Tran asked in the YouTube chat, do you think the only person who can match Ruben head-to-head is Javi? Look, I think that Ruben right now is a head above the rest, to continue with the same word, and head-to-head, head above the rest. He certainly is. Javi has often had Ruben's number, just for whatever reason. But right now, I think Ruben he's just better than everybody. I mean, anyone can beat him. Ruben might not win in his next match. It's totally possible. But he's just, more often than not, I'm going to bet on Ruben. Wall saying duel mode is interesting, whether one like it or not. It definitely prevents players from using Graveyard in every match. Yep, that's true. It would be cool to see content creators like B-Rad play the new CRL format. It's interesting. I'd love to see B-Rad play some in the duel mode. We'll see what he does. Obviously, he's focusing primarily on content creation now, but who knows what he might do. Are we having a guest today? Yes, we have a guest planned today. The guest is going to be a little bit late, but we do have a guest planned today. And, of course, another big-time guest planned for Sunday, which I'm very excited about. Would be very cool. Thanos asking in the Twitch chat, what is the thing with the rivalry between Javi and Ruben? They're just a bit of rivals. Javi has beat Ruben at some pretty big moments. So here we go, game number 1. Benzer top of your screen, Jack at the bottom. Benzer, of course, the Indonesian player, very popular out of Kick's team. I know JTV is actually streaming this in Indonesian right now. Just this match today for the Indonesian fans. So Benzer going pretty quick cycle so far. We'll see if he has another 1 elixir or 2 elixir card in there at some point, but my guess is it's going to be Royal Giant maybe, with potentially a Fireball. We'll see. Zappy's doing some good work on the right-hand side for Jack. Zappy's Barb Barrel. The synergy there is so good between those two. The ability to get Zappies across the bridge, throw a Barb Barrel in front, and that Barb Barrel picks up the aggro after the retarget. It's so good to put those two together. Yeah, the game feed I can see, guys, is a little bit slow. I'm not entirely sure why. The stream's been up and running and tested for the last half hour. So there's no accounting for the fact that we are doing an international broadcast with many different countries working together. Good fireball there out of Jack. And yeah, I'm getting word from the other casters that it's a low latency on the clean feed. So this is not on my end, this is on the feed coming in, folks. But I am seeing that a number of other casters in production chat are mentioning the same thing, so we'll hope and see that the booth gets it fixed. EXQZ. I don't know what predictions are on Twitch, so I don't know if I have them enabled or not, but I don't even know where I would do that. Because I don't stream on Twitch right now. Who's the best player in the whole world right now? Ask J.A. It's got to be Ruben. Right now, it has to be Ruben. Flying machine to the left-hand side. 882 to 1062. This has been the battle you'd hope for. And it's interesting. You know, Benzer really, his best option against the Piggies is the Fireball. And on the other side of it, Jack can go Cage with the Recruits combination, but neither one of them has a super excellent way to play defense. And the Fireball does not get the Firecracker. Doesn't matter, though, here, I believe. Flying Machine should pick it up. Barb Barrel comes in just for good measure. That's going to be a tough Royal Giant push to stop those Zappies down. That's also going to be helpful against this Royal Giant. And look at that. Boom. Stuck. Piggy split. It's been the same damage on tower for a while now. One Pig Snout on the right-hand side will take it down to 823. Bottom left-hand side to 1062. Zappy split 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 823 to 1062 still. This one has been holding on. No one is able to break through. Notice they both are playing Fireball, so unless Benzer can get on, this is going to be real rough for him. And now, Jack adding to the lead, and that should be enough. Benzer's going to go ahead and cycle back around. He already has his cage pretty quickly here. And, yeah, Jack, I mean, and Benzer knows it's already GG. Very well played. Tough situation on both sides trying to break through, but in the end, Jack had the better ability to break through than Benzer. Takes a nice GG well played in game number 1 and has the lead right now over the Kicks team player. And let's see. I'm going to go and take a look at my Twitch and see where I would. I don't know if anyone on Twitch knows where I would turn on predictions. I don't know if it's an extension or what it is. We can try to get going for the next match. The matchup you can see so far between Benzer and Jack. Fireball out on both sides, so we'll see if they stick with it. Yeah, a number of streamers, everyone who's watching right now, are saying there's low latency on the clean feed, but the ping is good over on the side of the production. So it's just, you know, the clean feed is coming to many of our different streamers in different languages from Brazil and then crossing international lines. So it's just, you know, a thing that we're going to have to deal with on occasion, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and bring up some Royale API on the day so we can keep track of these decks just a little bit more in detail as time goes on. You can see, of course, Jack and Benzer both already use Fireball and Barb Barrel. So the question is, are they going towards Poison in game number 2? Or are we going towards one of the other non-2 central big spell decks? Alan Wong saying, what do you think of the Mortar GY being played in a lot of these matches? It's a strong Mortar deck, or it's a strong graveyard deck that doesn't burn a ton of cards that you need for other decks. And that's why it makes a lot of sense as being one of the primary graveyard decks that people are using. Looks like we're getting a brief hold here on the clean feed as they restart something. Yeah, you can hear right there, they're actually restarting their game feed. So we'll have that back in just a moment. So we'll have more of that in just a minute. We'll just come back right here for now. And, of course, guys, don't forget, if you're going to get something in the Supercell shop, use code RICH. Code RICH right there. Code RICH. Use that in your Supercell shop to support me. Whatever you're getting, code RICH is a great way to help me out and say thanks for whatever you like about me. Or if you don't like me, but say, hey, Rich, I don't like you. I think you need some money to fix something I don't like about you, right? Whatever it is, go ahead and use code RICH in the chat. A lot of questions over in the YouTube chat right now about Surgical Goblin and whether or not at his prime he was overrated, and I'd say that's absolutely not. Prime Surgical Goblin was the best player on the planet. There isn't a question about that in my mind. And Surgical Goblin is easily a first ballot Hall of Famer. So you have all those different facts in there. You know, put in his run in 2017 and what he did in Europe and how dominant he was. Add in a CRO World Championship. To say Surgical Goblin is overrated is, I think, same as looking at, like, if you look at like, I was going to say, yeah, if you look at, like, Maradona playing in his later career, and then you go, oh, well, Maradona was underrated in his prime, right? It makes no sense. Let's go ahead and jump on into game number 2. And I can see, guys, that, yeah, this one is a little chunky here as well, so I'll let production know. And yeah, that is not on my side, guys. That's coming from the central production, so. Looks like it's starting to clean up. Maybe not. Yeah, it is just a little bit laggy here, folks. They're going to fix it after the Benzer Jack match, which I know is no solace for those of you here for Benzer and Jack. But yes, to everyone who's watching, I'm seeing it too, and that's coming from the central production, so I can't do anything about it. Untitled Puppet saying, how's my day been? Not too bad so far. I'm here hanging out with you guys, watching some Clash Royale. Oh boy. Oh, this is a little choppy. Inferno Dragon on the left-hand side, burning down the lava. Poison timed nicely. Doesn't get the flying machine. That could end up being... Doesn't get a lot more damage. Does force out the Ice Golem from Jack. So it puts Jack in a nice little 2-elixir hole here. And Benzer, of course, recognizing that. Boom. Right back to that Lava Hound. Graveyard over to the right-hand side. Graveyard in one more time. 15 seconds left in regulation. Barbs in response. And that flying machine is all over Jack's left-hand tower. This has been difficult, of course. Lava versus Graveyard, tough out for Jack in the first place. Miner working on that left-hand side, get that tower way down to under 200 HP here. Pretty close for Benzer to finish things off. We're going to go to game number 3 here pretty soon. Jack doing his best to make a case of it here, knows that Benzer needs to get miners on tower and or cycle arrows twice. And no pickup here. That's going to be the GG. Nice little snowball ice golem move there, but arrows will finish it off. We're going to game number 3. Hey, everyone coming here from JTV. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying watching Benzer's match. I know a lot of Indonesian fans here to see Benzer. Let me go ahead in 1 second and take a look at the last 2 decks being played. So Jack's done with Fireball and Poison. You talk about that Mortar GY deck. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Benzer to go that direction right now. Jack's already played Archers, played Recruits, played Poison. A lot of Indonesians here. Hey, what's up? Shout out Indonesia. Shout out to all the players here who are watching Benzer in this matchup against Jack. And those of you who are worried about the lag, I know I can do nothing about it, guys. It's coming from the central feed. Hopefully they fix it. So here we are in game number 3 on its way and trying to think about matchups and stuff like that. You know, part of the information you have. Would not surprise me here if Benzer goes Mortar GY at this stage because of the cards already used by Jack. And on Jack's side, it becomes an interesting question, right? Are you predicting that your opponent is going Mortar GY, is going Graveyard in some way? Got to figure out your best response in that situation. So far for Benzer, Fireball, arrows out, Barb Barrel out, so Poison is there. I don't really think you want to go Graveyard if you're Jack. I mean, Jack already went Graveyard, so can't go Graveyard again. Looking defensively at what's been used so far, only 1 building has been used, so you might imagine that Benzer goes something that has a building. Jack can't go Poison again, so it takes out a lot of the popular bridge spam builds. Let me go ahead and bring you guys back onto face cam here, and I'll do the rest of this deck prognostication purely with Royale API rather than using this graphic here. And Indonesian fans out in force today. Well, I wish you guys luck. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I'm happy with either one of these 2 guys winning, but I hope for your guys' sake that you at least enjoy game number 3 as it comes here in just a moment. We're just waiting on production to try to tweak some of the technical issues so that game number 3 looks as pretty as it can, and here we go. Let's see if they've got it sorted out, and here we go, game number 3. For a second there, I thought an actual Zappy had dropped, or a Sparky had dropped. That emote is a little bit confusing, confounding, if you will. So Snowball for Benzer, that makes sense. And Jack is throwing out a lot of Gurs here. Jack's pretty upset about something. Oh, and Jack's going Graveyard. And Benzer's going to go Gobble Giant Double Prince, maybe? I think it was kind of predictable for Jack to go Graveyard here. And whoa! Going Balloon for Jack, so nice swerve, but maybe even worse with Snowball and Zappies. And then the Fire Spirits on top of it. Benzer just has him locked down. Oh yeah, Jack did just go Graveyard. You're right. You're absolutely right. Jack's not going Graveyard. Still getting used to this game mode, guys, to be honest. Balloon freeze for Jack, and it's going to be hard for Jack to play defense and to break through here, guys. Yeah, I blundered. Great chess terminology there. He has already done GUI, yep. Well, what is Benzer playing as Varinsky? Well, at first I thought it was going to be Goblin Giant Double Prince, but now I'm not entirely sure. The Fire Spirits are such a fascinating choice here, and Benzer just got him pretty locked down. Spears, Fire Spirits, Zappies, and Snowball. Those balloons better not get anywhere near there. But both princes make it difficult, but the actual classic prince makes things so difficult for Jack here. And look at what Benzer's going to do. Benzer's going to just do this a lot. He's going to cycle Zappies, Fire Spirits, and Spears a bunch and keep on putting princes behind King Tower. And now, what an interesting graveyard deck. Graveyard double prince. And this is one of the things that's compelling about seeing this new mode, seeing dual mode, is seeing stuff like this. What are we looking at? Graveyard double prince for Benzer, and Jack is just completely befuddled. And there's no way through for Jack here. He has to hold on and hope something weird happens for Benzer. No spell to handle the Zappies. So that Lumberjack could be helpful. Here comes the freeze. Snowball going to slow things down here. Does Jack have any way to control that Prince push? And he does. Holding on here is Jack for a moment. And with a minute 10 left, while he's very far behind, Jack's shown the blueprint of how to get on tower. Dual lane pressure here from Benzer. And the poison in. Jack might connect here. Fire Spirit's trying to stop it. And they do hold on, but that's going to be death damage in. 45 seconds left. Jack starting to battle back here and triple elixir. But the Prince spam is getting real heavy. Graveyard and then Prince to the left-hand side. Dark Prince on the right gets it done. Benzer takes the win here over Jack. And the attempted zap predict, as the people on Twitter or on Twitch are calling, didn't quite come through for Jack. And here you go, taking a look at that final matchup. And an interesting choice here for Jack in game number 3. I wonder if he looked at all at what Benzer had already played and made adjustments. It feels like it was pretty clear that Benzer was going to go graveyard in some way. With Jack having already played Poison and Archers, it does kind of feel like that was an inevitability to go graveyard in some sort of fashion. In the end, though, not enough. And a nice win there for Benzer to move on. And here is the bracket information there in chat if you're trying to figure out what the heck's happening next. Well, what's happening next? More Clash Royale, guys. Come on. That's what's happening next. And thanks for all the Indonesians for stopping by. I do appreciate you guys staying up late, watching some Clash Royale here with me. And as long as you're here, go ahead and throw a guy a sub, huh? Right there in the chat, subscription link. Hit that button. Subscribe to my channel. Come back because we have more of this event tomorrow and Sunday, plus other big events coming in 2021 right here on youtube.com/RichSlaton. So make sure that you don't miss a moment. And of course, put on notifications with that bell because that's real nice too. That way you see everything I do here, not just these live events, but also, of course, pre-recorded BO5s I do with some big-time pros. And, of course, the Inside the Play and other fun videos breaking down competitive Clash Royale stuff. So make sure you come back right here. Let me take a look at what's coming up next year. I believe we're going to have that in just a moment. Ooh, boy, let's go. Coming up next, Miniminter and Yakatori. Let's get it. Elimination match between these two as well. So that's going to be a big one on both sides. And Benzer will be playing again tonight. That's true, says JTV in the chat. So don't you guys worry. Benzer will be back if you want to see more of him. So for the Indonesians, I guess stay up really, really late so you can see more of him. Over on the Twitch chat, Sir Tristan says, hello, Mr. Slaton. Hello, Sir Tristan. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And Dandy saying, thanks, Rich. Sorry, I can just thank you with subs. It's time to sleep already. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for the subscription. I do appreciate you coming back and hope to see you again soon. But next up, Miniminter and Yakatori. This will be a good one. Yaki, of course, part of the very talented Ponos roster from CRL East this season. And Miniminter has long been a top-tier competitor who just didn't quite have his opportunities in the previous year. But as someone who I think should be a guy to watch out for in 2021 with the new format. Elliot Krantz asking, question, if a pro has 2 accounts which hit top 1K during next CRL format, do they both get to play? I don't know the answer to that, actually, Elliot. I don't know if Clash Royale Esports is here to answer that question. I know they've been popping in and out of these streams here and there. And here we go. Match number 2 on the day. Yakatori top of your screen, Miniminter at the bottom. I've watched Miniminter play a lot of Clash Royale because for a while I was hosting a weekly Wednesday open tournament. Might do some more of those again in 2021. Easy King Tower activation here for Yaki. And Miniminter won, I think, 3 or 4 of those tournaments. Got to the point where I was just continuously, I had his PayPal pre-programmed into my phone for how much he was winning these events. An immediate aggressive Royal Giant play on the right-hand side. Zappies and Hunter. Still going to get one shot on that lane, though. Hey guys, I know about the sound. I just messaged production about the sound issue, so hopefully we'll get this robot sound off here in a second. Matsubishi saying, I gotta tell you that you asking Drew if he forgot the nerf spell damage during the match with Ash was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Well, I'm glad you dug it. It was fun. I enjoyed those break time battles. Rich Slate, did you go to college? Yes, I am a graduate of the University of California at Santa Barbara. UCSB, where I went to college. Guys, I'm going to turn the sound down a bit here while the sound's messed up, so it's a little bit less annoying. And I'll turn the sound back up once they get the situation fixed. So far, pretty even, 10:58 to 9:40. It's pretty impressive at the moment. A nice prediction there on the Fisherman from Miniminter. And that's going to result in at least 2, maybe 3, definitely, I think just 2 actually, Royal Giant shots. Giant Skeleton in the left-hand lane. A lot on the board right now for Mini to deal with, but to get that right-hand tower down to 550, now Royal Giant in for Yaki into that same side, and it's just the Royal Ghost and not a ton of Elixir. And Giant Skeleton will get the tower on the left-hand side, and that's going to be a big problem here. Can the Fisherman pull the Giant Skeleton off? No, it can't. Nice Hunter from Yakatori to make sure that didn't happen. And that's going to be 2 towers down here. Yaki just pressed the advantage when he got a little head on Elixir. And that Hunter was great. Tony the Tiger Loved that 100, let me tell you. GG's. Reese Blackmore asking, how many universities of California are there? Well, Reese, there are a lot of UCs because, I don't know if you know this, but there are millions upon millions of people in California. Let me just tell you, it's on your end, the sizzle. Just telling them right now that where the sound problem is coming from. Yeah, there's University of California. There's UC Davis, UC San Diego, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UCSF, UC Santa Cruz, Cal, just University of California at Berkeley, known as Cal. What other UCs that I'm missing there? Right? Am I missing more? I think there are more. I think there's a UC Merced, maybe. Stanford is not a UC, but it's a private university. Caltech is also not a UC. That's a state. That's a Cal State school. UC Irvine. That's one that I was missing. Yeah, good call. Yeah, lots of colleges and universities in California because we have a whole lot of people here. The LA area alone is about 20 million people. So, there you go. That's why we have so many colleges and universities here. All right, let's go ahead and see if the sound's a bit better, and there we go. Literally don't know what you're talking about there, Paul Wang, but good job. Went to UCSF, says Hamad. Okay, cool. Cal State East Bay. Oh, UC Riverside. There you go, Jose. UC Riverside. I almost forgot UCR. So, yes. And that's just the University of California system. Then you get into Cal State system, and you have Cal State Sacramento, San Diego State, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly Pomona, goes on, and CSU Fresno. A lot of people here need education. But I went to Santa Barbara, which is the most fun of all of them. No cap. Do I follow other esports scenes? A little bit of Apex, but not really. So game number 1 going to Yakatori, just completely dominating Miniminter in that one. Cal State Fullerton, man, people, a lot of California people in here throwing in their schools. Hey, Blake Costello, what's poppin'? Thanks for being here for so much of the event, buddy. In my opinion, what's the best Decker card and what's your personal favorite Decker card? The answer to all those is Ice Golem. Lava Hound on the right-hand side, but Miniminter all over him. Yeah. Did you guys get that NATO on Twitch and the clips? Undefeated asking in the YouTube chat if I want to learn some Indian words. Yes, but not from YouTube chat because it's going to end up just me saying something offensive. I know how this game works. You tell me, hey, try saying this. It means I love you and you're really neat. And then it turns out that I'm saying profanities about the mother of your prime minister. I'm not falling for that trick. I pulled that trick on my friend Rafael, who was a Brazilian exchange student. Came to my high school. He didn't know a lick of English when he started. Speaks perfect English now. But came to my high school, didn't know a lick of English, and we all just told him, a bunch of wacky stuff to say. And, of course, the sound is a little bit goofy again, so let's turn that sound back down. I'll turn my sound back down one more time. Giant Skeleton getting deep into enemy territory. Miniminter is firmly in control right now. Yeah, if someone from, hope someone from Twitch clipped that, by the way. If you're on Twitch, you see something cool, clip it. Hook our brother up. Miner on that right-hand tower. This should be pretty easily cleaned up. And it is. Miniminter evens things up, and we're going to game number 3. Yeah, Skander, I totally understand the issues with the production. We're dealing with a production company in one country and casters in all other countries. I turned the sound down because of the sort of like weird sound issue we're having. But yeah, we're doing our best to get everything handled here. BO5s will be dual mode attack when we get into the BO5 portion of the event. Josue, congrats on graduating from UCR today. GG, well played, and I wish you luck with whatever comes up next. Are links enabled for regular viewers, says Swimmer. I don't think so. I think I kind of don't let people just put random links in. They're working on the sound situation right now, guys. Who do I think is going to win between Mini and Yaki? I don't know. Whoever's better now. Let's go ahead and take a look at. Let me go ahead and bring up the Royale API here, and we can take a look at the full deck picture and try to see if we can figure out what we think is going to happen here in game number 3. Now that we have so much deck information. Only word I need to know in India is well, that's India, not Indonesia. But yeah, India is Namaste, sure. Yeah, guys, not entirely sure. I apologize for the production challenges. You know, it's not on. Nothing I can do about it here. Looking at the last 2 games. So, RG from both players in game number 1. What's hard for Miniminter to plan here in game number 3 is if you look at the deck choices, and deck number 1 for Yakatori was RG EQ Barb Barrel, is that there's Poison, Fireball, Lightning, all 3 of those are still options for Yaki in game number 3. So that makes things very challenging. Yeah, I know India and Indonesia are different places. Someone on the Twitch chat was saying, I have 2 different chats going, guys. But someone on the Twitch chat was mistaking the 2. Did I buy the season pass? Of course I did. I always do. I buy the season pass every single time. Where's the other dude at? Another dude might be here later. We'll see about other dudes. So we're looking at the actual deck stuff. It's going to be kind of difficult in my opinion, for Miniminter to make his deck choices because Fireball and Poison are both on the table, as well as Lightning still, when it comes to Yakatori's deck opportunities, because he ran RGEQ in game number 1. So Mini is one of the situations where Mini could go Graveyard, which is so strong, but basically almost every good Graveyard counter is still in Yakatori's bag. So we'll see what the plan is. And yeah, production is still working on the sound stuff, guys. Looking like Yakitori might be going Graveyard. We'll see. And yep, there you go. It's going to be Graveyard on both sides. Essentially the right call. Yeah, I'm going to bring that. I'm going to bring this the sound down a little bit more because of the sound issues. We do have sound, Ziad, just the sound is a little bit messed up right now for the moment. $10.97 left-hand lane, Miniminter with the big opening. You can see on the left-hand side, hashtag Crown the King. If you want to get into the action, use that on Twitter, and you might show up here as well. Pika, I just realized Earthquake could fully counter Graveyard. I know it sounds dumb, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, Earthquake does work on it. There's actually a number of situations where I think players, their big mistake is not using their Earthquake to defend against a certain graveyard. And weird poison out of Yaki, and Miniminter calls the good game right there. And you have to imagine that's probably right. Yeah, the gameplay is low, but as you'll hear, when I turn it up a little bit, the gameplay sound is a little bit messed up. I'll leave it here if you guys want to keep the gameplay sound on, despite it being kind of messed up. You can hear the gameplay is all kind of, the sound's kind of distorted, so. Graveyard into the right-hand side. Poison to try to predict on the archers. Really early and aggressive stuff out of Yaki. You understand why he went to the poison there, because really his only chance was for that graveyard to do a lot of work, but it wasn't going to happen. Great call here from Mini, but I could have sworn. Oh, no, he didn't. So Miniminter also did have the poison available. Yeah, great call by Mini Yakatori with some strange choices, and Mini moves on. Yakatori now out of the tournament. Well, that sounds okay. Yakatori is Yakasari he competed. All right, you know what? I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That one's not bad. Sounds like you're making pitch-perfect a cappella jokes. Excuse me? That sort of thing. CR Sheldon Cooper's never played with sound on in 3 years and didn't even notice it was distorted. That's really funny. So Miniminter comes out on top here, and again, you can see matchup is WinCon +4 because these matchups are all over the place right now. And everyone has their own opinion on what to do with the sound. Oh, well. We'll see if the sound stays back to normal. Yeah, some weird poisons from Yakatori, some weird choices from Yaki. And there's the bracket in the YouTube chat here, for those of you who wanted to follow along. And we should have our next matchup here fairly soon. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're able to put up with some of the production challenges. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but, you know, all productions are remote these days, so creates some new complications here and there, as you might have gathered. Boss better win, says Robbie Chowdhury. Or what? Right? Like that sounded like a threat. He better win. What's going to happen if he doesn't? Let's see. Let's go over to the Twitch. Twitch right now is all talking about preference of having sound on versus sound off while playing. That's a good question for you guys on YouTube. Do you play with sound on or sound off? That's a good question. Let me know right now. Do you play sound on or sound off? I used to play sound off for Clash Royale all the time, and then now I try to play sound on whenever I can. The only time I don't play sound on is if I'm playing late at night and Mrs. Slaton is asleep. I don't want to bother her. But typically I play sound on all the time, just so I don't miss anything, right? Because sometimes the sound cues, you're looking at one side of the screen and you hear something, you're like, oh, I should look at that side of the screen right now because there's a thing going on. So I play sound on now. I don't know about you guys. But interesting choices there from the Twitch side. Is this my full-time job? Yeah, I full-time work in gaming and esports. Between casting CRL, my own content, doing I produce a lot of CR or a lot of esports content. And hold on, gameplay on screen. Hello. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to tell them right now. Oh, wait. They were maybe replaying something? That might have been a replay, guys. As opposed to an actual game. I'm checking this out right now. We're all talking to production. I think that was... They are testing a sound. Okay, guys. That was a sound test. That was not actual gameplay. They're testing sound, and they're sending it out to us. So, no actual game is happening right now, guys. We didn't miss anything. It's purely a sound test. Whew! They didn't tell us that. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying the sound. The sounds is good, right? So there's no game happening right now. Everyone fine. Relax. 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 Oh, yeah, by the way, check this out. Look how good the autofocus on this camera. Boom. Look at that autofocus. That's called the Sony ZV-1, if you guys don't know what camera I'm using. Hey, as long as we're waiting for them to test the sound here for a second so that we can try to get this production picture perfect. Let me tell you some things, right? What kind of headset am I using? I'm using the Audio-Technica BPHS-1, and that is going into the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, which then goes to my computer. My camera is the Sony ZV-1, which is why I look so pretty, and also why, bam, look at that autofocus. Boom. Boom. That's a little better. Boom. Let the sensor actually pick it up. Boom. Boom. Look at that autofocus, right? Sony ZV-1 is my camera. I have two Elgato lights up here to give me that good, like, situation on my phone, on my face. I run my iPad through a capture card, the Epiphan AVIO HD. What else? I got some fresh sunglasses from Gooder. Bro. Oh, you actually can see some of my setup here. Look. So you can see my lights, right, in my sunglasses right now. There's my lights. You can see my double monitor setup, right? There's a monitor. There's one monitor on this side and one monitor on this side, and my iPad down here. You actually see my camera. Let me go ahead and give you that camera look. There, boom. There's my Sony ZV-1 camera. You can see it in the reflection. This actually ended up being perfect. Throwing on my, oh yeah, these are Goodrs, Goodr. They make a whole line of sunglasses for running, but also one for gaming and esports too. Ooh, this actually feels nice to throw the shades on. What's up? Got to stunt a little bit. Let's go. Game number 1 of Boss versus Expo Master. Let's get it. Let's get it. Angel Ortiz. It depends on which one you prefer. That's my answer to your Brawl Stars versus Clash Royale question. I prefer Clash Royale, some people prefer Brawl Stars. The brand on those glasses is Gooder. And let them know that you heard about it from me, because Gooder and I are Gooder friends. So Mortar GY for Expo Master, Royal Giant, Fish Boy, and you know what? Now that we're this deep into things, I think you guys may have seen a pattern here, and I'm going to tell you guys the pattern of deck construction. And I was talking with Belikin about this last night. He and I had a nice little conversation about it was green screen guys for the King. Yeah, he and I had a nice little conversation about the sort of the whole format of these dual modes, and you know how to deck construct and how to really think about these BO3s. And what he pointed out to me was this really, and you'll see this from all these players here. So far, at least in this stage of the development of this game mode, is his strategy is to play a meta deck in game number 1, have plans for games 2 and 3, but be flexible for those plans. So you play a meta deck in game number 1, have decks planned for games 2 and 3, but keep an eye out on what your opponent has played in game number 1, and then make single card or make 2 or 3 card adjustments. That was his sort of breakdown for it. Graveyard in, and Bat's easily on it. Poison in there a little bit late. Graveyard will still get some significant damage though, because of that cannon cart. Look at the damage in for Expo Master. Just like that, Boss's lead completely evaporates. And Thanos showing up on the Crown the King feed on the left-hand side there. Hashtag Crown the King on Twitter. And just like that, Boss gets his lead right back. GG, well played. Boss takes game number 1. So whoever gave that threat earlier of Boss better win, well, hope you're happy, man, because he's at least winning for now. Please don't hurt us. Please don't hurt me, man. So game number 1 does go to the American. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our options remaining. Boss ran both Fireball and Log. Expo Master ran Poison Barb Barrel. So Expo Master might be going to RG here in game number 2. Now, if I were Boss, I might actually go something to counter that. I might go with something that has some pretty significant ability to counter a big, hefty tank like that. And yeah, guys, the part of the shades, part of obviously what they looked like was because of the chroma key, because we're on green screen here. But if you want to know what the shades are, they're called Gooder. Gooder is the brand. Yeah, see, that's just the green screen. You can see because the logo is green. I'll put it right here, though. Gooders. Now, let me turn off the... oh, but it's still going to have the green screen on. Either way, the key is it. The chroma key is in, but Gooder is the brand. These are my favorite sunglasses. They've actually hooked me up with a bunch of different pairs. Let me see what I got over here while we're waiting for our next game. Ooh, check that. Check out the fresh bag there, right, with the flamingos on it. Yeah, these are the... what are these ones called? They all have, like, interesting names. I can't remember what these ones are called. Oh, ooh, look at these bad boys. G-O-O-D-R, Gooders. They're not even sponsored. This isn't like a paid advertisement. I just love these sunglasses. And they find out that I love them, and so they sent me a ton of them. Because they're cool, because they're launching a whole new line of like esports and gaming related like sunglasses and blue blockers and stuff. So yeah, they sent me a bunch of them, and I love them. They're great if you're active because they won't fall off your face because they're made for running, right? Like you put them on. See what I'm talking about? Pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our next game. Yeah, buy them just for the flamingo bag. That's right. Calvin, you have a pair too? Yeah, I have like 10. I already had 4 before they sent me a bunch as a for being a fan, but now I have, yeah, I already had like 4 pairs on my own. So game number 2, and Expo Master going Miner with Skeleton Barrel. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Blaze. Love you, Rich. So happy you stream on YouTube. Happy to be here. Thanks for the support, man. Really appreciate it. Appreciate it indeed. So really interesting choice here. And Boss going Graveyard in game number 2. No huge surprises. Most people are going to go Graveyard at least one time throughout this event. Defensive Graveyard, though, for the Mega Knight. Bats, Spear Goblins, even Bandit. Yash Vardan, what's the question about my experience in CRL 2020? Just talk about my general experience. Who funded the All Stars tournament? Tom Cruise, after he got done yelling at people on set about their behavior, he decided, he's like, oh, also I'll give $25,000 for a Clash Royale tournament. Really weird, but Tom Cruise is a massive Clash Royale fan, if you guys didn't know. It's like the #1 thing he's into. He actually almost quit movies just to focus full-time on Clash Royale. Hamad saying, Rich, I want to support you, but not available in my country. Well, then support somebody else, man. Thank you. I appreciate your support. And I'll tell you what I tell everybody. If you try to make a donation to my channel and it won't let you because of country restrictions, do me a favor and make a charitable donation. Whatever you're going to send me, send to some sort of charitable organization. You know, I personally am really into organizations that promote literacy. That's my personal thing, literacy and water and clean water availability. But yeah, if you're trying to support my channel and you can't because of country restrictions, I would encourage you to donate it to some sort of charitable organization. 1333, 1287, down to under 1200 on the left-hand side. Miner going absolutely to town. Mortar getting some decent connections here for Boss, though. Right now, Expo Master with the lead as we go into sudden death overtime. Cannon cart goes to the left-hand side. Mega Knight setting the line high against the graveyard on the left-hand lane. Mega Knight certainly going to be playing an important role there. And, of course, Inferno Dragon to burn. Zap gets the reset there for a second. And now we have a Skeleton Barrel trying to dive right on through. Miner to the back here. High Mortar one more time. Does this Mortar get a shot on tower? It's been getting one every single time. Doesn't get one here. Boss forced to play the Knight to pick up that Inferno Dragon. Will the Inferno Dragon stop the Cannon card? If not, going to require some extra expenditure. Good zap there out of Expo Master to hold things down. 90 seconds left. And here we go, Skeleton Barrel opposite direction, but the lead for Expo Master is slowly beginning to dwindle here a little bit. Miner to the outside on the bottom corner here, and that's going to continue to add for Expo Master. And those bats getting through were absolutely massive. The question now is, can he defend against this graveyard? Boss trying to fire back here. Full-on graveyard poison, needs to pick up this Miner if he's going to have any real hope here. Nope, not going to happen. That's GG, well played. We're going to game number 3. Wall, I believe that Supercell provided the prize pool for this. I don't know if they provided the entire prize pool, but I believe they did. Oh, a Discord server command. Oh yeah, I do have a Discord server. Is that selling my Discord server super hard? That I'm like, oh yeah, I have a Discord server. There you go. Here's the Discord. There you go. So there we go, all tied up after 2. And the lead right now for nobody, because that's how a tie works, is we are even 1-1. Trying to find my fresh white shades. Are those in the box over here? I got so many cool pairs of these things. It was Tom Cruise. Yeah, no, Tom Cruise is all about... Tom Cruise, he really was going to quit movies to focus on Clash Royale, but he owed too much money in alimony. And, you know, he didn't think that a $1.6 million prize pool would be quite enough to cover what he owes Katie Holmes. So, unfortunately, we didn't get Tom Cruise the CR Pro. But, you know, we already get Mission Impossible 7. So, you know, weigh those two things. Tom Cruise playing Clash Royale, Mission Impossible 7. You know, you put those two things and you weigh which one you'd prefer. For me, I want to see Mission Impossible 7. If we're going to, you know, compare those two things. Even though he's actually a really, really solid log bait player. So, you know. Yes, there's supposed to be a guest with me today. I don't know where the guest is. Let me actually check my Twitter DMs because the guest was supposed to message me on Discord. But my guest today had an important thing that had to be taken care of first. And there you go. All right, let's go ahead and jump into game number 3. Did I cast WCG last year? Yes, I did. Andrew and I flew to Xi'an, China to cast the World Cyber Games. It was super fun. This should be a movie where Tom Cruise plays CR and gets stuck in the game. I like it. What character in Clash Royale would Tom Cruise be? That's actually a great question. I could see him as an E-Wiz. He is certainly electric, you know what I mean? Tom Cruise, give him some white hair, make him a magic archer. Tom Cruise has those sharp eyebrows. Could be a solid magic archer. Modsad asking, Rich, how many players got eliminated in the last 2 days? Can you please name some of them? Read them, please. There's the challenge link. And you can go look at the bracket there and see everybody who's been in this tournament and eliminated. So there you go. Hey, Carrie, how are you? Royal Giant on the right-hand side. Kaboom. Kaboom. 1522 to 853. Boss in the lead at the moment. Tom Cruise would be a mini P.E.K.K.A. Interesting. Are you calling Tom Cruise a robot? Is mini P.E.K.K.A. a robot? What is this world that we live in? Royal Giant for Expo Master in game number 3. So I thought he was going to play in game number 2. And Expo Master probably playing Fireball, which, you know, going to make those barbs. We'll see what the game is there between the barbs and the Royal Giant. But so far, Boss is all over this right-hand side. Tom Cruise would be a royal recruit. There's the fireball. Boom. That's what you're waiting for. That's what you're waiting for. Goes to the left-hand side, going to be picked up by the miner. Full-on Lava Loon push right-hand side, but RG hit his tower down. Now you're going to have Lava Loon versus RG in the pocket. So even though that right-hand tower is going to go down, still this matchup favors Expo Master now with both towers down. Boss really going to be able to defend that right-hand tower, and now that he has it, between the pressure of the Royal Ghosts on the left and the ability of this RG to go in the pocket, it's going to be very difficult here for Boss to hold on for these next 2 minutes. Balloon in the pocket, and that's a good fireball out of Expo Master. Boss will get death damage. And Fireball now not in cycle for dealing with the barbs. Log has to do it, only one shot. A good protection of the Electro Wizard out of Expo Master. That was a key in that interaction. Really excellent protection by Expo Master to keep that EOS alive a little bit longer, forcing out the miner. And so far, one of the big issues for Boss has been he just cannot get his cycle exactly how he wants. Anytime he starts to repair it or get things in the order he likes, Expo Master puts some sort of pressure on and it forces all the cards out in the wrong order. Here you go. Barb's now no longer available. So now he has to pressure. RG in the pocket, what are you going to do about that? Very, very little. Hope that you can beat it out in terms of speed. Not going to happen. And there you go. Expo Master takes the win. GG, well played. Boss eliminated Expo Master and moves on, and now I'm worried about that guy who said Boss better win. What was the threat? Give me 1 second here, folks. All right, just double checking on that one. So good win there for Expo Master. And again, you can follow along with the bracket right here. Oh no, what happens now? I think the Boss now maybe becomes a warlord. Who knows? Takes over part of the Midwest. We're in a Mad Max future. Who knows what happens next? Gotta get Furiosa out here to deal with them. And so coming up next, we'll have that info in a minute. I think it's, oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Let's get it. Check this out. Let's go. Coming up next, Razzer and Egor. How about that for a matchup? Who's ready for it? I know I am. Someone asked how many sunglasses I have, by the way. Somebody asked beforehand. And, you know, let me tell you guys, the number is almost infinite. Look at how these are keying out, by the way. These ones are going crazy with the chroma key. I'll go ahead and actually show you what these ones look like here for a second. Where is my... I'm in my... There we go, in my camera. Let me go ahead and show you guys for just 1 second what these actually look like. But how many sunglasses do I have? Dude, it never ends. My sunglasses never end. These ones are fire. Check these out. Check these bad boys out. Check these bad boys out. I had the greatest sunglasses collection in the game, bar none. Come at me. All right, let's throw the Karma Key back on and get ready for our next matchup. I'm pretty pumped for it. Razzer and Egor, teammate versus teammate. Of course, the betting man would pick Egor here. But I feel Razzer's pretty good right now, and Egor is not at his best at the moment. Egor's been struggling a little bit. Are they still in the same house? They have not been in the same house at all, Elliot. Egor has been playing from Russia this entire season, as far as I'm aware, and Razzer's been playing from the U.S. Put on all of your glasses at once? Dude, that's too many. That's too many glasses. At once? Not too many to own, but too many to wear at one time, man. All right, here we go. Let's get it. Teammates. But teammates who I believe never shared a house together. Razzer joining in the 2020 spring split. Obviously, Team Liquid was playing from 4 different parts of the world. It's so interesting the journey that both these players have taken. Of course, on one side, Egor, top-tier ladder pro. Highly anticipated addition to Team Liquid, showed up just at World Finals to come out and clutch up like crazy. Big King of the Hill sweep to open up his career. Razzer was a relative unknown. Relative. Not totally unknown, but relative unknown in his opening season with CRL. Had some experience in RPL before that, but like I said, wasn't a big name player. And then of course with Complexity, he and Colton were so dominant in 2v2. Complexity ended up on Conan, showing him Clash Royale on Conan's gaming channel. So definitely pretty big heights there in 2018. A few seasons with Complexity. And of course a short stint getting second place in the West in the spring with Misfits, and then on to Liquid, where he always wanted to wear the Liquid blue. Huge fan of their League of Legends team. And of course this season for Liquid didn't turn out quite as either of these two hoped. So Graveyard double Prince again from Egor. We already saw this once today. An interesting Royal Giant variation here. I think we saw this yesterday, the one that Razzer's playing. And now Royal Giants in both lanes here. Zappies to work on the left-hand side. Fireball takes care of the Zappies. And Razzer in a good spot right now. Has to find somebody to defend against this Dark Prince. Cage gets the pull. 2 Princes on the board right now for Egor. Both moderately healthy. Dark Prince will be taken care of. Classic Prince on the left. Barb Barrel comes in to worry about those skeletons. Does Razzer have the log here on the left-hand side? Yes, he does. But Egor going to get some more damage here on top of it. Here we go into sudden death overtime, and things are pretty darn even on the left-hand side. Razzer does have the dual lane pressure advantage though. And skeletons there for the Prince. Snowball in on the skeletons. But Royal Giant high tank for that Musketeer does a great job. And the Fisherman gets the last second pull here. Swimmer in the, you can see on the left-hand side here. Green Team Korea still dominating with the JupiterKing Expo Master in line. Still in the competition. Hashtag Crown the King. Rich Slaton equals best caster. Well, thank you very much, man. I do appreciate it. Glad you like the stuff. I don't know if you like it as much as Razzer likes hitting Fireball right now. GG, well played. Razzer takes game number 1 in this best of 3. I've long said I think Razzer's an underrated player. You can see, of course, doing some good work here. In particular, defending very well against those graveyard pushes. Very, very well indeed against the graveyard pushes. Right? You look at those tools. The Electro Spirit may be a bit underrated against graveyard. Log can help, but felt like it could have been worse there. Talking about Razzer's career, though. A little time in RPL. Played 1 season for Nova Esports in the 6th season of RPL. Then after that, a long run with Complexity through 2018 and 2019. Of course, helped the U.S. finish number 3 overall in the world at No Tilt Worlds. Part of a very, very solid team there, but was not part of their 2v2 duo for that one. No Tilt Worlds. That was primarily, for a while it was RF and Oh Yeah, I think, and then it was RF and AC. And then, of course, the run with Misfits, and now with Team Liquid. And looking at this first one. Poison out for Egor. The question is, does Razzer go Graveyard in game number 2? I think Graveyard game 2 is far too predictable. Is far, far too predictable. I would not go Graveyard in game 2 in this situation for Razzer. Egor tends to go Mortar in game 2, but I think that Liquid finally caught up to that rhythm. So I'd be surprised to see Egor go Mortar in game 2, although he might just play it because he might just want to play his game. We'll see. But if I were Razzer, I would not go Graveyard in game 2. And since you think Egor's not going to go Mortar in game 2, and you see Snowball and Zappies and Hunter all out, Balloon might be a great choice for Razzer here in game number 2. Tyler St. Jean asks, as a level 13 free-to-play player, what would you recommend to do to level up cards faster? Why, are you trying to compete in CRL? Is that why you're talking about leveling up cards faster? Well, I guess get great finishes and complete all the challenges and get high finishes in the global tournament as a level 13 free-to-play player. Or if you want to play CRL, get the pass royale and grind some grand challenges. Is my best advice there. And if you're a free-to-play player, out of like some sort of ethic, I don't know. If you think that you have a chance of winning some real money at CRL, you know, placing top 1,000 on ladder and then going and crushing part of that $1.6 million prize pool, invest in yourself a little bit. That's my advice. If you're already level 13, it wouldn't take you a lot to get a few pretty solid max decks. Use code RICH in all Supercell games, guys, please, says Sandy. Thank you so much, Sandy. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, use code RICH. There it is on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Look at that cool animation. Isn't that cool? Use code RICH. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So Razzer going bridge spam here in game number 2. I like the call. I would have gone Balloon here, but then seeing Bats and Musketeer and Fireball and Cage, you know, that's looks like Egor maybe was thinking about that Razzer might go Balloon in this situation. That is a lot on Egor's right-hand side. And Egor's very low on Elixir. Razzer, hopefully he understands that. This is a good time to pressure. He might bandit left-hand lane as the bandit's not in cycle again. Just going to cycle up his Magic Archer to the right-hand side. Yeah, Sandy is the super MVP. Thank you very much, Sandy, both for your donation and for your always excellent modding. Good high bats out of Egor. Magic Archer does absolutely nothing on that right-hand side. An immediate pressure from Razzer at the bridge here. Musketeer picks it up. And Egor just doubling down. He was at 10. Might as well go ahead and throw that log on that side. 1880 in the left-hand lane to 1566 on the right-hand side. Razzer cycles Magic Archer to the strong side tower one more time. Ghost, P.E.K.K.A, and wow, just about everything on this left-hand lane right now. Egor having to spend quite a bit to keep this P.E.K.K.A off his tower. He's probably going to, I think he'll succeed keeping the P.E.K.K.A off the tower, but going to take some damage here anyway with that Hunter. Hunter just gets one, so they can call that a victory here for Egor. Does not fall too far behind on damage. So far, Egor's done a good job of forcing this conversation to this in his left-hand lane. Razer got a good advantage on the right-hand side, and Egor said, okay, well, we'll play on the left then. Battle Ram high with the Hunter behind. Notice this is a no EWIZ version of Bridge Spam. That's an interesting thing to note about this matchup. Just gotta wonder maybe if Razer's saving EWIZ for something else in game number 3. He does have the 1-game advantage. P.E.K.K.A set up way in the back, so Egor, of course, goes right to the bridge. Hunter right there for it. But that's going to be a lot of damage from the Royal Giant. Right now, Razer trying to get poison value best he can. Egor high with the bats. The bats usage from Egor has been very good. Not a lot of zap bait, though. So you have poison, and then you have zap as well, and so kind of makes it a challenge target-wise for Egor on defense. And now, this pressure is getting to be really, really rough. Magic Archer will get the cage out of the way. That's going to most likely be not a connection, but Magic Archer is going to get some more geometry here. Royal Ghost in. This is just too much right now for Egor to handle. I don't know how Egor comes back from this situation. Royal Giant high should be the Hunter available up high as well. No, goes with P.E.K.K.A instead. And oh, what a nice zap out of Razer. Is that going to be enough, though? Royal Giant gets a couple of shots, and suddenly Egor is in the lead, 364 to 520. What a game between these two so far. Royal Ghost at the bridge right now. Magic Archer trying to get some more geometry here. And right now it's Razer who needs to be the one to put damage on tower. Egor doing a good job not letting any of those Magic Archers get their geometry right now. Poison in, fireball opposite way. Razer gets the zap and the bandit and takes the win in the final 5 seconds. GG, well played. Razer going on through in the elimination bracket. What a finish. What a game between these two. There we go. Twitch, clip that. Someone go clip the final minute of that game on Twitch, because that was great. What a fun game that was. Egor took control there and was doing a good job of keeping those Magic Archers from getting damage. I want to go back and watch that. I'm going to go back and watch into that game in slow motion after this match is over, after the day is over. Because that was great. And now here we go. We now know the rest of our lineup for the day, guys. Because of those first few matches. Next up is going to be Lciop and Lime, which should be phenomenal. Then Belikin. I mean, all these matches are great. Belikin, Hajime, JupiterKing, Schwarzen. But now Expo Master, after beating Boss, will face Benzer in our second to last match of the day, and then we'll close things out with Miniminter and Razer as the final match on today's schedule. So should be fun. Clash Royale Esports saying more details coming soon. We want more Clash Royale Esports. I'm excited for 2021. I know Clash Royale Esports excited for 2021. And speaking of Clash Royale Esports, guys, I have not talked about this really at all today, but I'll go ahead and throw it to you guys right now. Check that out. Clash Royale Esports just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and I am doing a fun giveaway. These prize boxes, you can't get them anywhere else other than these giveaways. They're not for sale anymore. So they come with a plushie. I believe it's the baby dragon, but it might be the log, but I think it's the baby dragon. Yeah, they come with a bunch of cool stuff. Here is the tweet to enter. If you want to win that box, you have a few more days up until December 25th, so about a week, to still get involved in it. I'm giving one away. Andrew Guy's giving one away. There's a bunch of people giving those away. So go follow that link on Twitter. And you have to, follow, retweet, and comment with your favorite Clash Royale League memory to enter. But giving away 10 of those on my Twitter. Andrew's giving away 10 of those boxes. I believe Koji and Mono are doing it. I believe that Bruno and Deco are doing it to celebrate Clash Royale Esports hitting 1 million subs on YouTube. So go ahead, enter in. And, if you win, we give you a promo code. You can go enter in. It's very easy to get your prize. It's pretty cool. And, yeah, one of the only ways still to get one of those very, very cute baby dragons. Hello, baby dragon. Hello. Hello, baby dragon. So, yeah, if you're interested, go ahead. And I'll throw the link in one more time. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. There's the link one more time. Check it out. And you can go ahead and enter. And maybe you will be the proud owner of a baby dragon, stickers, pins, a whole bunch of fun stuff. Here we go. Next matchup. Very excited. Lciop and Line. Man, to be as good as Lciop's been for as long as he has been is very impressive. Right? You just think about that and you think about how have you been this good this long? And it's really a testament. 25 years old. In the world of Clash Royale Esports, 25, that's like a 35-year-old running back in the NFL. So, congrats to Lciop for a long and storied career. Line, of course, the No-Tilt World Championship champion. You can see number 1 there on stage 4, but let's really put that. He is the solo world champion of 2020, the big open tournament that everyone was involved in. 20-win challenge, went on to a long best of 3 bracket, went on to a best of 5 semifinals, then went to a round robin for the East, and then went to the final competition for the world. I mean, so many things you had to do to become that champion, and Line was the guy this 2020. So we'll be with the next match. Guys, I'm not in charge of the match pace of when the next match comes up. I'm just here casting, guys. But as soon as we get the next match ready, we'll do it. Oh, and there we go. Let's get it going. And guys, if you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and like the video. I see that we have, how many likes do we have right now? We have 1,400 people watching, and we have 553 likes. Let's try to see if we can get to 1,000 likes today. That'd be fun. Ooh, wall breakers. Have not seen much wall breakers in the last couple of days. We've seen bits and pieces of it. Miner into the Hunter here. Turns it the opposite direction. Hunter off the board. Cage to pick up the wall breakers. So Lciop was a bit too aggressive yesterday with an early Magic Archer. And of course running wall breakers Magic Archer again here. Spear Goblins enough to help keep the Magic Archer on the board. And this time it's a little defense before offense. A lot on the board right now for Line, but that can all be bar barreled off. Or for Lciop. And Lciop trying to pressure. Lciop going really low on Elixir right now, though. Good connection, and the fact that it got the Baby Dragon as well is absolutely massive, because he is a 2.5 Elixir behind Line, which is going to be difficult against this Royal Giant deck in the first place. And we'll see if Line recognizes his Elixir advantage right now and pressures. He might just, cycles Fisherman in the back. Decides not to go too high pressure here. Lciop needs to make a couple of positive trades if he doesn't want to fall too far behind or get that tower down very quickly. But even then, Lciop was a little bit over the other day, and over aggressive, and that was rough for him. And that Lightning gets the Magic Archer off. Maybe a bit of an overexpend on the Lightning, and that might be exactly what Lciop needed here. And hey, in the Twitch chat right now, one of the best of all time, CRL 2-time regional champion, the God RF, stopping by on Twitch. So you want to talk about a top-tier player? RF stopping by. We'll see if he ever does play some dual mode. That would excite me. 704 right-hand side, Royal Giant. And again, this feels like a challenging Elixir situation for Lciop. He has recovered a bit, and that lightning from Line really feels like it might have been the thing that did get the recovery in there. And again, Line going with lightning to get really just the Magic Archer off of him. Miner goes to the back. Oh, no, goes to the front inside. Number 3 spot for the Miner. Doesn't get much for it, and now Lciop has to defend against this Baby Dragon. 152 remaining. Lciop has been defending primarily with troops. Good point there made from Swimmer that he has not used what we assume is Bomb Tower in here. Which is why maybe it's not Bomb Tower, but you feel like he would have used it by this point to work on those Royal Giants, but instead just playing a face-to-face matchup here. That's a little bit better of a Lightning than the previous ones, but the Elixir advantage that Line keeps on building, keeps going away. And that's the real interesting thing about this, is that Lciop has been in the lead but behind on Elixir almost all of it, and then Line keeps getting low to mid-range value on those Lightnings. And Lciop doing a good job of just going, and look at that cheeky Miner there from Lciop. That might be the game. Lightning does get the Magic Archer off the board, but now Magic Archer should finish things off for a guy who is an absolute surgeon with a Magic Archer. Go ahead and clip that NATO from Lciop. Knowing when to make that move happen is so big. Great NATO there from Lciop. GG, well played. One second, folks. I'm going crazy with the clip requests. I mean, I clipped it. Hopefully you I'm just trying to get the best clip. Know what I mean? And guys, if you do want to follow the tournament itself, here's the Twitch channel. Here's the Twitch link for the tournament on its own. Lciop is so good with Magic Archer, and that's why yesterday his aggressive Magic Archer play, the overly aggressive Magic Archer play, was a bit of a surprise. And it cost him the game. But this one doesn't. This one plays perfectly. So let me go ahead and pull something up here. Maybe I can do it this way. That might be easier. And give me 1 second, folks. I'm just trying to find... Where are you at? Lciop. I think that's him. Is that him? No. Sometimes trying to find some of these players can be a bit of a challenge. Oh, I guess we're right back into game number 2. I was going to go talk a bit more about some of the matchup stuff. Oh, I can just pull up lines info. That's an easier way to do it. What peripherals do you have with your computer? I went over them a little bit earlier. I can do it again later. But suffice to say that my streaming setup in terms of the camera and the audio and lights is all pretty solid. Now I just need to get fiber optic internet because I'm on an attempted prediction there out of Lciop and a failed NATO from Line. Lciop just gave you a nice Elixir advantage. And then the failed NATO out of Line, and Lciop. Giant mini P.E.K.K.A. Is this giant GY out of Lciop? Hog to the right-hand side. No NATO and no bomb tower for Lciop. Keep that in mind, folks. I don't know if he's playing a building here. I don't think he is. And uses the bats on the hog and just doubles down defense on the offense on the left-hand side. And Musketeer connects as well. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And is Line given up here? Or was that... I guess that was a give up. I don't love it. I don't love it. And now he goes hog opposite lane. Was that just like to fool him? Was that trying to fool Lciop? So was that NATO a misclick then, or was he trying to fool Lciop into overspending? I really don't understand what I just watched. I'm really not sure what I just saw. I mean, I know what I saw. The things happened. He played the NATO and then went with the Hog, maybe because he was thinking that Lciop would overcommit. Of course, then the Mini P.E.K.K.A was right there. Pyro saying it was definitely a misclick. That's a weird place for a misclick, though, to go with that NATO all the way down in that far low corner, right? That's a weird, weird place for a misclick. So, oh well. The No-Tilt World Champion is out, and Lciop, the first ballot Hall of Famer, moves on. And again, there's the bracket in the chat. If you guys also want to make sure you don't miss Lciop tomorrow in his next match, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, so you never miss a moment of the... There's a subscribe link there in the chat. Come on, chat link. Boom! Hit that sub button. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird, weird, weird. With a capital W. And a lowercase e, but a capital R. And then a backwards D. That's how weird that was. So, yeah, the log in the middle was certainly a give up, for sure. But I don't know what the NATO was. The NATO I don't understand, because then he hogged, right? I mean, look, tough situation. Let me go ahead and take a look at the actual the matchup one more time there. Do we have the matchup here? Yeah, here's the matchup one more time. So, Mini P.E.K.K.A for the hog, obviously, and Snowball, but no building. On the defensive side, I mean, it's a hard defensive. I think who made this deck up the other day? I think I saw someone post this deck on Twitter yesterday. Didn't someone just make this deck up within the last 24 hours? The one that Lime was playing? Someone on, it was Samuel. Is that, or I'm saying it was Samuel? Yeah, I just saw that deck posted on Twitter the other day. And, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, how he deals with Graveyard here. And here we go. Belikin and Hajime. It's so interesting because they're the same age, but Belly is an absolute veteran of Clash Royale at the highest level in competitive, and Hajime maybe newer to the Western audiences. And Belikin is a clone master, and one thing that Belly's done very well with clone, and again, he and I were talking about this last night. One thing Belikin's done very well with clone is it's always a threat, but he doesn't overplay it, right? Like, you think that Belly plays clone about twice as much as he actually plays it, right? Because Belly is known for some lava clone, obviously lava clone first, and maybe some golem clone as well. But he's known for being dangerous with clone, but he plays it probably a third as much as you actually think he does, maybe less. But it's just always a threat there in a way that it's not with any other pro. And we saw that yesterday with the matchup with Sweep, where Sweep for game number 2 went to really try to snipe clone in game number 2. And obviously Belly was playing lava, but not lava clone, and it worked out fine for Belikin. But it's because of that threat, right? So even you see lava and you go, oh, cool. You see lava, you see flying machine, you go, okay, cool. Now I probably am against clone, and let me prepare for that, set up my defense on this first exchange to play against clone. And then over the time of the match, you realize, oh no, he's just playing a different variation of Lava Miner. So really smart play, decksmanship, if you will, to quote a term coined by my co-host Andrew Guy. RF saying in the Twitch chat, with the Miss King Tower, the next NATO was probably a give-up NATO hog because maybe Lciop does like giant mini P.E.K.K.A bridge instead of just giant. Good point there from RF. It was a give up, and then hey, let's see what happens here and see if I can maybe steal my way back in. Loki with a different opinion, saying that Lime was trying to bait Lciop into going giant GY so we could take the right-hand tower, but yeah, mini P.E.K.K.A still available. arrows for Belly. So here we go. Belly playing Lava Hound game number 1. Again, we were talking with Belikin yesterday about decks, and his general opinion was go meta in game number 1, and then adjust in games 2 and 3. Based on the remaining cards that you see and what you saw your opponent play. So here he goes, going meta in game number 1. Lava Miner with arrows. Hajime has long been known for his high ladder finish right up there with Samuel and Lucas in terms of ladder preference. Yeah, solid ladder player, just not a veteran in terms of the competitive play. How long is this going on for? Asked Liam on Twitch. We have a few more matches left. Probably about another 45 minutes to an hour, I think. Depending on if we have sweeps or we go full 3. Good poison. Does it take the flying machine off? Yes, it does. But Hajime and Belikin now pretty even. Minor Wallbreaker's left-hand lane. Are arrows back in cycle for Belly? And they are. $12.94 left-hand lane for Belly. He goes lavas up in the right-hand side. Those spears timed perfectly for Hajime against the Mega Minion, and now Hajime's going to pressure that left-hand side pretty heavy. Cage high. And this flying machine should actually be really nice for Belly as it comes in behind the poison. Picked up by the Musketeer, though. Still, Hajime doesn't have a lot of options against this in the air and is forced to spend his wall breakers defensively, and that might be enough here for Belly to take this game. Skeleton Dragons on the right-hand side. Hajime with a good game. Belly takes the win. Well, I had a co-caster planned for the day. I'm just realizing now that we're more than halfway through the day. But he had some things he was busy with. Some things he was working on. So I guess it might be just me for the whole day. When they switch to BO5s, can you still not repeat cards? Asked Samo is Dead. I feel like you might run out of options after 5 full games. The rules for BO5s... the rules for BO5s are going to be that you have to play 4 different decks. If you go past the first 3 matches, you have to play the first 4 matches have to be 4 different decks. That's the rule for BO5. The first 4 matches must be 4 different decks. And then the 5th match can be any of the first 4 decks. That's going to be the rule for BO5s. That's the plan for that portion of it. Don't forget to use code RICH right there. Thank you very much. Yeah, the plan for the BO5s will be it's dual rules with all different cards for the first 4 decks, and then deck 5 can be any of the first 4 decks. That's going to be the plan, I believe, for when we get into the BO5 portion. I already answered the question of how do you get the baby dragon. Take that link. Go and enter the contest. That's how you get it. Here we go. Game number 2. Let's do it. So now here's the really interesting thing, right? So Belly plays. It's a straight up cycled EQ out the gate for Hajime. Very aggressive. So Hajime is going RG EQ, it looks like. And Belly looking like he's going RGEQ. So Belly, this is interesting because Belikin is running essentially the same collection of decks he ran yesterday. He ran RGEQ and Lava Miner with Flying Machine yesterday. The match before that, he ran RGEQ, the same deck, with Goblin Giant Double Prince. So my question here is Goblin Giant Double Prince his Game 3 deck plan. Looking like maybe going Balloon with Earthquake? That makes no sense. Hajime's got to be going Royal Jump, right? The Cage Heal Spirit is just... Cage Flying Machine is just kind of weird here. Oh, Piggies. Duh. Duh. Giant Skeleton to the right-hand side. Hajime playing a little bit loose with this. Gets the recruits down. Zappy's all to the same side here for Belly. You know, I would have loved it if Belly went Lava, went Game 1, and then just went Golem Clone Game 2, right? Just to really throw people off. But yeah, this is the big question. Hajime currently has the lead right now. And it's not going to be easy, in my opinion, for Belly to get this tower down on the right-hand side. At this stage, it does feel like Hajime has the advantage. I mean, obviously he has the current damage lead, but I think he just has the advantage as well overall in this one. And the question is, what does Belly do in game number 3? And I think in game number 3, he's been playing a lot of Goblin Giant Double Prince, and he's been playing it specifically paired with these two other decks in his matchups for this tournament. So I wonder if Hajime has paid any attention to that. Belly was fairly confident about this matchup coming into today. EQ high on the cage. Flying Machine, an absolute menace for Belikin to deal with. Right, having no big spell. I think we're going to see a lot more Flying Machine overall in Clash Royale in this game mode. Because of, you know, not having to always worry about Fireball or always worry about Poison. Now, of course, Belly didn't play Fireball or Poison in game number 1. He played Arrows, so a bit surprising for Hajime. Maybe Belly's been a little bit of himself for not playing something that could take out the Flying Machine. Yeah, Royal Delivery is still good, and I'm playing right now. I've been playing some Lumberloon Cycle with Ice Spirit on ladder, but I'm actually now playing mostly Hog EQ with Royal Delivery, what I've been playing the last day or so. So Royal Delivery, certainly, someone in the YouTube chat mentioning that they think it's pretty good again. Yeah, it's still pretty good. It was OP with the knockback, but it's still good without the knockback. 2 Flying Machines. Look at this. What can Belly do about it? He has to get the Royal Delivery down here to get one of that. Oh, it doesn't need it. Never mind. Giant Skeleton here. But he really can't deal with Flying Machines until they cross the bridge, which is an absolute menace. An absolute menace here. And that's going to be a GG well played. It's a tough situation for Belly in that one. And I am a little surprised he just ran something with no true big spell. Just really nothing for those Flying Machines there. Absolutely nothing on that. All right, so now we go ahead and take a look at these last 2 decks, right? And one thing I hope we get is get a graphic going in the future where we can see the decks, like both the decks they've played. That would be brilliant. But game number 1, Belly played Lava Miner with Arrows. Game number 2, or in game number 1, Hajime played Miner Wall Breakers with Bomb Tower and Musk. And now no Poison. So you take a look at Hajime. Does not have the recruits. Doesn't have Spear Goblins. No more Log, no more Poison, no more Valk. So a lot of openings here for Graveyard in game number 2, in game number 3. On Belly's side, he has both Fireball and Poison available. And Hajime might end up playing that because it's interesting, because Hajime does have the card left to play the Bowler GY deck. And I think Belly might have actually predicted that Hajime would go to Bowler GY. So that's going to be interesting to see. Does Belly play to counter Bowler GY? And is that the direction that Hajime goes here in game number 3? Trainer Rain saying Belly plays GY Freeze Lava Inferno to counter Lava Hound here. It'd be interesting to see if Hajime went Lava Hound here. Could go Lava with arrows. No Flying Machine, though. And this is where this conversation gets fun, right? Again, I wish you guys could see. If you guys bring up the Match on Royale API, you can see all the decks they're playing together. But we need to get it. We have to get a dual overlay going for these ones. Here we go. No more questions. Let's get into it. Game number 3. Belly took the first one. Hajime the second one. Now we have one more left to play. And it's Mortar Graveyard probably for Hajime here, right? Interesting with the bats. So Knight to the left, Musketeer in response. And there's the cannon cart for Hajime. So there you go. It's going to be Mortar Cannon Cart Graveyard for Hajime. And Graveyard Double Prince, I guess, for Belly. And hello, James, over on the left-hand side of your screen with the hashtag Crown the King. Third time today seeing Double Prince Graveyard. Snowball doesn't get it done, though, because of the Hunter in the back. So a solid bar barrel out of Hajime. The Mortar gets the Muskie off the board. Not what Belly wanted here. First 2 minutes of gameplay almost done. So Belly liking Double Prince right now. Ran some Goblin Giant Double Prince, now running Graveyard Double Prince. He's really liking Double Prince at the moment. That's a good set of spears out of the grid. To support that Prince just a little bit more. That Cannon Cart going to get in enemy territory, though, and that's why that Dark Prince has to get a little bit high. Good Snowball to make sure that Cannon Cart stays out of range and doesn't even get to the Dark Prince, so that's actually a huge snowball there for Belikin. Hajime not able to take the lead yet, but still very close, 1864 to 1766. Prince high, Spears low, Snowball trying to help out a little bit against those bats. Dark Prince has to come out, and this should be enough. I think one skeleton gets through here. Not a single one. Absolute wow. 31 HP separating these two as we go into sudden death overtime. Keep in mind, Hajime does not have Poison as an available card here, nor does he have Snowball. So 2 common spells you might see with Graveyard not available for Hajime. He used Snowball in game number 2 and Poison in game number 1. So he could be playing Fireball. Here's what Thanos says in the Twitch chat. Very possible. And now Poison comes out offensively for Belly. And that bar barrel gets all over those spears. This is a huge potential push for Hajime. Fireball in on the Musketeer. He's going to get a ton of damage here. An absolute pile of damage. Just like that, Hajime takes the lead, 955 to 1381. Huge fireball there. And now the mortar down, and now the momentum is all towards Hajime at this stage. Does not get one of the bats here to protect that Prince. And now Belly trying to figure out, you see that, a little bit delay there, trying to figure out what to do with this next push. Cannon Cart going to go to the bomb tower here. Dark Prince and Spears Fireball in to work on those Spear Goblins. Snowball in high for Belly against that bridge. But now both the Dark and Classic Prince going the opposite direction. Graveyard down, Poison down. Final 24 seconds left. Belikin needs to get some Graveyard hits here. Needs to get some of these skeletons on tower. Dark Prince gets through. Dark Prince gets through. Spears behind. This is a huge, huge swing. 38 HP. Belikin fires back and takes the win. What a nice play for Belly to get back in there. And man, it looked like the momentum was totally shifting for Hajime. Belly able to hold on. Great choice out of Belikin there, and he played that really nicely at the end. The bomb tower, snowball usage. And you saw a lot how he protected the Prince against those bats. And this is one place that you have to really understand. Belikin is one of those players who spends a lot more time thinking about deck selection and matchup than a lot of players just play stuff they like, play stuff they know. Belikin puts a lot of effort into the actual deck thought, more than many. And a lot of people, everyone knows Trainer Dippets is a top-tier analyst, and he talks a lot about the analysis level of Belikin himself. So, GG, well played. And Abiram saying that maybe a flawed deck choice by Hajime with nothing to pick up those Prince charges. And yeah, it's an interesting, with how much Belikin's played double Prince. Well, he couldn't have predicted Graveyard double Prince necessarily. It's one of those things where it's interesting. I think Belly played Clone the first or second day, Tan. But it's always a danger. That's the thing about Belikin. All right, so Belly moves on. He'll face the... Wait a second. That bracket looks weird. Does he face Lciop next? You guys see what I think is weird about the bracket? Oh no, he faces someone from the upper bracket when they drop down into the lower bracket. Got it. So Belly will face someone from the upper bracket when they drop, and so will Lciop face someone from the upper bracket when they drop. We are not done yet, folks. We still have more to play. Don't you worry. We still have a little bit more. Remember, we still have Expo Master and Benzer and Razer and Miniminter for sure. So there is more Clash Royale coming. Just updating you guys on the current bracket situation. Yeah, very interesting here that Hajime didn't play anything that really controls well against the Prince charges. That's a weird choice, considering how much double Prince we have seen from Belikin. And if you go and look at Belikin's... If you go look at Belikin's Royale API, he's been playing double Prince like crazy over the last, 3 days. Which is something that... who was it who nailed him on that one? Someone nailed him on that one earlier in the tournament. Whoever he played in round 1. Or round 1 or round 2. Maybe it was Line. I can't remember who he played. But someone nailed him on that one earlier in the tournament. Because it was because he'd been playing so much double Prince. And that's how he ended up down into the lower bracket, into the elimination bracket. Jeffrey, my personal best is 63-23, I think. I think that's right. 63 something's my personal best. Of course, then I tilted and didn't finish at 63, but is what it is. We all tilt, right? And here we go. JupiterKing versus Schwarzen up next. Schwarzen, of course, has been great through a lot of his semi-pro career. CRL didn't quite go the same way he had hoped. But Schwarzen, obviously a top-tier semi-pro. And now a good CRL player. Had his moments big crowning achievement was his big push in the No Tilt West No Tilt World Championship. But Schwarzen definitely one of the, I'd say probably top 10 players out of Germany. And Germany has a great Clash Royale scene. JupiterKing, of course, young star of Tribe Gaming. And again, Tribe didn't quite have the year they had hoped, but we'll see what players under the Tribe banner do in 2021. And by the way, as long as we're all hanging out here, folks, don't forget to use code RICH in the Supercell shop, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's go and take a look at where we are on the likes today, by the way, folks. We're at 685 likes, and there's almost 1,500 of you watching right now, I believe. Let's go ahead, like this video. Let's push this thing up a little bit. We're at 685 likes. Let's get to 800 before this game is over, before this match is over, huh? How about that? Show a little love to your boy, huh? Show a little love to your boy. Please help me out, man, please. You know, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into our next matchup, JupiterKing and Schwarzen. Schwarzen was really, really solid in the meta of the late summer, early fall. I wonder how much the loss of the nerf to Barbhut has kind of hurt his deck pool a little bit. So Jupiter going probably Hog triple spell with delivery, most likely. If he played Snowball in this one. Oh, interesting. Hog to the left-hand lane, so it's a Hog Giant Skeleton. Interesting how Schwarzen did not go with the RGGS instead of going Hog GS. Loki saying, I don't want to be mean to the pros, but Rich Slaton deserves to play in the Copa Brazil in the All Stars tournament. Change my mind. I'll change your mind. I don't deserve to play in that. I am not good enough to play in this tournament. I'm good enough to cast it. So interesting Hog versus Hog matchup. Two different looks at Hog, a little faster cycle here. Jupiter going with both Hunter and Archers in this one. So we do see the EQ, of course, out of Schwarzen. The question is JupiterKing running EQ or is he running Fireball here? You have to think he's running EQ because we haven't seen it yet. You feel like you would have seen Fireball by now. Hog should sneak past here pretty nicely. Fisherman this time might get the King Tower activation, and this time does. And we saw that before, and there's the EQ. Trying to get some little damage on the spear and, of course, on that Fisherman. It's one of the dangers when you start to you don't really have your defense plan necessarily against Hog, and you try to Fisherman, and we saw it get DPS down and not get the King Tower activation the last time around. Not too much damage, though. Currently still Schwarzen in the lead, 19-22. Hog Rider in. Fisherman should pick this one up. But notice that Schwarzen's playing that Fisherman very, very low. He's playing that Fisherman low because he does not want to get that Fisherman sniped, predicted by Skeletons high in the middle or by Archers high in the middle when that Hog comes in. So keep an eye on that. To fully prevent King Tower damage, you kind of want to play the Fisherman a little bit higher most of the time, but you run the danger of it getting picked up like that. So we'll see. Let's see if there's Bomb Tower available. Yes, it is. EQ in response, though. And this is just lather, rinse, repeat for Schwarzen. It's not even about getting hog damage on tower. It's about getting EQ damage on tower. And this time, Fisherman distracted. Hunter has to come out. Hog should get one. No, the log combination works out nicely. Man, Schwarzen just completely in control in this one. And again, not even if you get a hog hit, that's a bonus. What you want is to force JupiterKing to spend Elixir and to get EQ damage on tower. And I'm curious here to see if JupiterKing switches tactics and just does that. Yep, that's what I'm curious about. He'll defend against these spears, and now he goes hog behind. Log for the hunter. Good tactical switch there out of JupiterKing. He's going to probably go high with his bomb tower defense next time it comes around. We'll see. No, goes low and early. And the hog does not pull the giant skeleton, though. Jupiter was trying to pull the giant skeleton. Doesn't get the hog shot. This is a problem here for JupiterKing. Schwarzen does not get on tower, though. Nice cycle all the way back to the high bomb tower. Final 26 seconds. Log trying to make room for the hog, and the hog gets a hit. Hog gets a huge hit. Opposite direction, 540 remaining. EQ on the right-hand side. Hog trying to sneak on through, bomb tower high. EQ working on that one, Log down to the left. Does this hog hit? It does not, 264, and that should be it. That should be a win for JupiterKing. GG, well played. Brilliant game by Jupiter. Way to make some adjustments and come back. JupiterKing is pretty good at Clash Royale, huh, folks? Pretty darn good. What a wow. What a wow. And that sample size is too small to make our true matchup judgment here. What a great game by Jupiter, though. Either way, however you want to split that matchup. Great, great game by JupiterKing. That bomb tower was just EQ target the entire time. And Schwarzen just seemed like he had it. It seemed like the combination of Log, Fisherman, and Hunter was going to be enough to hold off against the Hogs. Turns out it wasn't. Turns out that was not the case. And JupiterKing did a great job late in the game of getting all the way around the horn and back to bomb towers, right? You saw there was one place where I got fooled by it. I thought the bomb tower wouldn't be back quickly enough, and there was going to be a chance for Schwarzen to get on tower. And then Jupiter cycled back to a high bomb tower. Very, very nicely played. So, guys, we are getting into the second half here, or not second half, the final chunk. Let me go ahead and double-check today's lineup, because I believe that we are on the third to last matches. We have two more matches after this one, two more lower bracket, two more elimination matches coming up after this one. So if you haven't yet, go ahead. Oh, that's the wrong button. You should follow them as well. That's the actual event. That's the official Twitter for this event. But go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Let me go ahead and get that link in there. Come on, button. Come on, button. There you go. Subscribe to this channel. Like the video. Show me your love. And here we go. Schwarzen opens up Lava Hound. Lava first play? Anyone else here really love Lava first play? I think it's the #1 thing to do in Clash Royale. And Jupiter giving a good game already. Not even playing in response. What a weird... Oh, Jupiter played... No, Jupiter played Knight in 2 games. That's what it is. No, the mistake here is that Jupiter played Knight in 2 games, and that's his mistake. So that's a free win for Schwarzen here. I wonder if they'll give Jupiter the warning here rather than the loss. We'll find out. I don't know what the plan is here. We'll find out from League Ops. I'm checking with League Ops right now. But JupiterKing played Knight. He had already played Knight in the previous game. And so that's a violation of the rules here. So we'll see if this is... I think this is a win for Schwarzen. I think this is essentially a win for Schwarzen. I think that if they played it out and Jupiter won, it would have been a warning. I think that for Schwarzen, because Schwarzen won, I think it's a win for Schwarzen. Yeah, Jupiter loss is the ruling here. So Jupiter probably should have played it out, because I think that if he played it out and won, it would have been a warning as opposed to a loss. But, you know, is what it is. Is what it is. Lava first play, though. Ooh, do I not have a lava first play command? I only have a golem first play command? What's the lava first play command? Get it in there, Twitch. Yeah, so rough one there. Don't do this, please. Golem first play. Yeah, don't do that. There you go. All right, so as you can see, Jupiter was planning... Oh, Jupiter's played essentially the same deck. Jupiter just was running back that didn't switch decks. So there you go. So that's an auto loss for Jupiter, and now we're going to game number 3. He did not quit due to matchup, guys. You're only allowed... This is duel mode, so you have to play different decks every game. Jupiter just went right back in with the same deck, didn't change his deck, and that's an automatic loss for him in that one. So that's what happened. Unfortunate for him. Aren't I a little bit low in the frame here? Hold on, let me bring that down. Bring this camera down here a little bit. Right? I feel like I've been low in the frame the whole time here. I have to be really pushed in tight because of where the green screen is here. I'll actually back you guys out a little bit here. See if I can. Oh yeah, look. So you can see the side of the green screen over there. So I have to be pushed in pretty tight to not have the edges of the green screen be an issue. You know what? Maybe I can do this. Hold on. You guys will see. You guys see some behind the scenes magic here. There we go. Now I can be out a little bit further. There we go. Now we're not so tight in. Little digital work here for you. So here we go. Game number 3. And that's on Schwarzen. That's his mistake. I mean, that's on Jupiter, I mean. Is what it is. So now Schwarzen plays something, or Jupiter plays something new. And there is a Spanish stream for those of you asking. At Rich Slaton wear a green t-shirt. Not the best idea. Jupiter getting aggressive with Balloon here early. Known for playing lots of Balloon. Bomb Tower, Snowball, Archers. Did that Snowball go to the right spot? That's going to still be death damage, I believe, here. Yep, there you go. Well, I would say that in this situation, saying they got to fix that, and somebody got to track your own cards. I mean, they're going to, you know, if we get friendly mode for this in there, then that'll be an easy way to do it. And also, as a pro playing for literally thousands of dollars, I would say that's on the pro, right? With a $17,000 top prize, make sure you don't make a mistake like that. £5 donation from Sandy. Sandy, oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. It means so much. It's the lighting. It's the lighting. It makes me look good. So pressure on the right-hand side from Schwarzen, but the Baby Dragon going left. Good time to go right. And a good bar barrel there from Jupiter to reset the Princess Tower and pull that Knight out of range. Miner to the left-hand side, gets on tower. Skeleton's too late. Jupiter adding to his lead. Hey, Sam in the Twitch chat matched bats 2 days ago, your second max card. Congrats, Sam. Snowball should get a few shots here. Good bar barrel timing from JupiterKing. was ready for that snowball. Balloon in with the miner tanking against the archers. Good timing for the balloon. That bomb tower pull is always so confusing, but that's how that bomb tower pull works. The balloon just goes whoop and goes the opposite direction. So 1467 to 1205, and Jupiter now setting up into the weak side rather than the strong side. Gonna try to, a little bit late in my opinion with the giant skeleton here. Piling on troops, a lot of poison value inside on that tower, and Snowball trying to make some more room for the skeletons. And just like that, Schwarzen is in the lead. Has to deal with the giant skeleton and the baby dragon on the right, but you have the balloon on the left. And the balloon does turn. That giant skeleton not going to go down in time to help the balloon out. Will a NATO come here out of JupiterKing? Snowball does reset on the balloon. Jupiter back in the lead here, but and with a lot at the bridge. Quite a lot at the bridge. Back to balloon one more time. Jupiter has done a good job of cycling effectively in this matchup. Both last game and this game. And that balloon goes right past the bomb tower. The Mega Minion pushes the balloon past the bomb tower, and that's a GG well played. That is a GG well played. What an unfortunate interaction there for Schwarzen. Great cycle work by JupiterKing, but in the end, again, I wish I had a replay like that. But the Mega Minion giving that balloon a pass beyond the bomb tower, and that is just a rough one there for Schwarzen. Wish I had the ability to play replays on this. All right, guys, give me about 30 seconds here, and I'm going to grab myself a little extra water. I ran out of water. Give me about 30 seconds, and I'll be back with as we go into our next matchup. So be back here in just one moment. Here we go. Coming back. Can you hear me yet? I think you can. And boom, here we are. And ready just in time for our next matchup. Expo Master and Benzer. Man, I love events like this. You get so many great matchups that you just don't get a chance to see regularly. So thank you, everybody. We're at 1,700 viewers right now. Thank you so much. If you don't know who I am, I'm Rich Slaton, caster for Clash Royale League. If you ever watch CRL, hi, I'm Rich Slaton. Welcome to Clash Royale League. That's my friend Andrew Guy. Yeah, I do the whole voice thing. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this. Let's take a look at the likes where we are right now. 812 likes. Can we hit 1,000 likes, you think, before the end of today's tournament? We have 2 more matches. 2 more matches. Hook 'em horns. 2 more matches to make that to make that number. So if you want to go ahead and hit a like, hit a like. If you want to go ahead and sub to this channel, there's a link in the chat. Also, you can just, hit the sub button wherever it is and come be a part of all this. Man, this is going to be a fun one. Benzer and Expo Master. I'm excited to see if Expo Master gets really creative here in this matchup, right? He's generally a fairly creative player. And, we haven't seen Benzer go super mortary yet. So I'm curious about that one. And unfortunately, it looks like with 2 matches left that our special guest is not going to make it today, unfortunately. But he had something very important to do today, so is what it is. Is what it is. Let's see. Looking at the chat here for a second. Well, maybe not everyone knows who I am here. Some of you might have just seen the thing in the stream and gone, hey, I'll go watch that, and then clicked. But if you know who I am and you're not subbing yet, that's what hurts. That's what really hurts, man. If you know who I am and you haven't subscribed, that's where it really hurts. So go ahead, hit the sub button. Like this stream, because we are at 868, guys. We're like 132. Is that the quick math? 132 away from 1,000 likes on today's stream. That's pretty cool. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm liking, guys. So go ahead and hit it. The final is Rich versus Andrew Guy. Nope. Shout out your clan, the Killer Fungi. Okay, cool. We're here. The guest was meant to be Eric. Eric was coming back again today, but he had something really important to take care of, and he told me he said it was going to be late, but I guess that thing became more of a thing. So I'll see if maybe he's available tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure, but if you guys were here, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday? Was it that recent, or was it 2 days ago? You guys were here 2 days ago. We had Eric Benamou, EB7, coach of Team Liquid, was my co-caster, and it was a lot of fun. So he's supposed to come back again today. And then I have a very special... I don't want to hype it up too much because I fingers crossed that it still happens, but I believe it will. I have a very special guest planned for Sunday, and I'm super, super excited for our Sunday guest. So we'll see. And I'll try to get someone here for tomorrow. But I have someone really special planned for Sunday, and I'm really excited about it. It will be fun. All right, waiting on this next one, guys. This goes on till Sunday. Yeah, that's the plan as far as I'm aware, right? We go till Sunday? Let me go look at the calendar. Oh, come on. This channel, there's nothing in the calendar channel? Let me just double check this. I'm just confirming this. Let me double check this. I think we have 2 more days. If not, I have to arrange someone, tell my special guest we're on tomorrow instead. What am I watching? Who is this Rich Slaton? I have no idea. Who am I? Rich, did you think this graveyard rework would be better? You can only place graveyard on one tile on opponent's side and no RNG to make it easier to defend. Can only place graveyard on one tile on opponent's side. Like, it specifically has to go to the same tile every time. I don't like that. I don't like the idea that it has to go... We have 2 more days. Yes, great. We are back tomorrow and Sunday, so there we go. One tile on the... yeah, I don't like the one specific tile. And then, yeah, I guess, like, I don't know, maybe if the skeletons all spawn in the exact same spot, like 4 corners they spawn from those specific places. Maybe. Let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 of Expo Master and Benzer. No, we don't. Expo doesn't need another nerf. Expo's pretty nerfed right now. Is this real life or is this fantasy? Here we go, Expo Master, who, as it's mentioned in chat repeatedly, has not played Expo in this tournament or doesn't play Expo much at all anymore. Maybe that's the whole point, right? Is that the whole point? Can you predict that it's AC? I'd love to have AC on. I don't think he wakes up early enough to do this. He might still be asleep. I actually should message him and see if he wants to do this. But he's in California, where this tournament starts at 8 a.m. California time. And my guess is that he doesn't wake up early enough for this. Rich, I wanted to watch one of your movies. Well, I'm not in a lot of movies. There is actually a short film I did that I wrote and starred in years ago when I was like 24 or 25. A comedy short. That maybe it's uploaded to my YouTube, but not live. Maybe I'll make it live so you guys can see it. It stars myself, Josh Adam Myers of the popular Spotify podcast The 500. Brittany Furlan, formerly the Vine star, who is now married to Tommy Lee, the famous drummer, and Johnny Skortis, who played Ralphie in The Equalizer, opposite Denzel Washington. So that's my it's called Brian's Party, and it's up on my YouTube. I haven't made it public. but I made it, gosh, I want to say 12 years ago now. I'll make it live. Why not? Do you know if the new CRL format can also make people under 16? Nope, it's 16 and up for legal reasons. Yeah, JMO of the Comedy Jam. 805 Joe, yep. Josh and I started stand-up together years ago. Have spent a lot of time together over the years. And he's a really funny, talented guy. Pig split high. We've seen this matchup a number of times this weekend or this week. And of course, it's gone towards the way of piggies every time. Pyros, and listen to Josh Adam Myers on the MM podcast, as a yes, and that fan ever since. Yeah, Josh is a great dude. You know, actually, I'll text him after this and tell him that a bunch of the viewers are fans of his, so I'll get a kick out of it. And then he'll tell me to release. I actually have a video from recording of one of our friends. It's kind of embarrassing that he's been asking me to give him, that Josh has been asking me for years. And I have refused to give it to him out of respect for my other friend. But maybe one day he'll wear me down once the statute of limitations has gone far enough. Pigs pull to the middle with the cage, but it seems like it's only a matter of time here before Benzer takes game number 1. Royal Giant down. Zappies go to the outside. Cage late. RG does not get a shot, and that was the shot that Expo Master really needed right there. Pig split with a lot in support. And that's going to be a lot of damage on the left-hand side, and it needs one more shot. There you go. That's fireball range. GG, well played. Benzer just needs to get back to fireball, and that's going to be it. He gives the well played, and Benzer takes game number 1 over Expo Master. Pyro asking if I ever worked with Bill Burr. I don't think we've ever been on the same lineup. I mean, I saw him at the, I worked at the store for 4 years and saw him a lot and spoke to him a number of times. I was never close with Bill Burr, but I don't know if we were ever on the same show together. I need to go back and look at that. There's a bunch of my old Comedy Store lineups I was on my Instagram. You can go find a bunch of that. Hey, look who's there in the chat on YouTube. CWA, one of your favorites with the GG. Guys, if you want to get noticed, not only is CWA in the chat for him to notice you, but as you may have seen on Twitter just the other day, guys, CWA may be throwing his hat in the ring in terms of potentially sponsoring some players for CRL. Said it on Twitter. This is public knowledge here, folks. So if you think that, I mean, look, honestly, if you don't have the proof that you're good enough to be great, then, take your shot. I'm not going to blame you. But CWA may be sponsoring some players for CRL next year. Could be interesting. Who knows? Whole new system, whole new format. So pretty darn cool. Benzer takes game number 2 after... Right, that was game number 2, wasn't it? Am I totally lost now? Let me go ahead and let me reload some stuff on API here. Benzer takes game number 2. Yep, we are all tied up. Let me go ahead and throw you guys the matchup stuff so far. How about Rogan? Yeah, I was on lineups with Rogan quite a bit. Rogan played at the store more often than Burr. So I was on a number of lineups with Joe Rogan. My job was often to cold open as a door guy there at the Comedy Store. My job was often to cold open the show, be the first comic, just come right out and boom, get the crowd warmed up and set up the lineup. And then Rogan would come on like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and the room would just, he'd blow the roof off the place, obviously. CWA coming in with a lot of haze. Haze to everybody. Need to make a full card UFC style. That's actually my vision for Clash Royale was actually sort of a UFC style Clash Royale. So who knows? Now that we have duels in particular, maybe we'll see some of that in the future. CWA doesn't have a team right now, but you know, with the new format for CRL coming up next season, there's openings potentially for some more fluid types of sponsorships. And Benzer does not get the King Tower activation. Oh, no. Goes for it, doesn't get it, and that's so annoying when you go for it, don't get it against Mega Knight. Right? You'd have a slight miscalculation maybe on how much you've DPS down that Mega Knight. You know, you first try to start killing it, and then you're like, oh, let me go ahead and try to pull it. And the next thing you know, you've kind of wasted one half on the other. Still did control, but that's okay. Dual lane pressure for both. Wall breakers to the right-hand side, Mega Knight high. And Expo Master's going to go ahead and just eat those wall breakers, try to double down on the left-hand lane. And this time, the King Tower activation should be happening. Yes, it does, but at what cost? At what cost, Benzer? At what cost, Benzer? Sometimes you just got to let that Mega Knight King Tower activation go. And that's one of those. That's one of those situations where you see that happen, and you know it's not the right call. It's so hard to resist going for the Mega Knight King Tower activation. But if you don't get it on the first time you try it, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, in my opinion, if you don't get the King Tower activation with Mega Knight the first time you try it, don't go for it again. Because the next time you go for it, you're going to have a situation like that where he's trying to get, you're already in double. Basically, if you don't get it in single, don't go for it in double. And we just saw a big push behind, and that King Tower activation really cost Benzer. Really cost him a lot. And that's going to be going into game number 3 now. Tough situation overall, but man. Only Morrison only did the King Tower activation out of frustration, maybe. But who knows? Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, they'll give us the data here in just a minute. Rich, do you think we could mix duels with bans, or is it too meta and too complex? I don't think we need bans mixed in, because you're already essentially game number 2 already has, in a way, 16 ban cards, right? So I think adding bans into duels is just extra. Best way to put it, it's extra. Nobody use Expo in tournaments, so buff Expo. They just nerfed Expo. It's not going to happen there, Big Yon. I'll shout you out here, but it's not going to happen. Who wins in a BO5, Ash or Rich? I don't know who wins the next one, but I'll tell you one thing. I won the first one, the only one that's happened. I was streaming, and Ash was there in the chat, and I said, hey, man, let's do a BO5, and we did it really quickly. And it was really fun, back and forth. I actually put it on my channel. The title of the video is Schmo versus Schmo. Let me see if I can find that Schmo versus Schmo matchup. We had a lot of fun. It was some of the most fun I've had playing Clash Royale. I don't enjoy typically playing on stream, guys. I'm not really into playing on stream. It stresses me out. But playing with my buddy Ash on stream was a whole lot of fun. Here you go. Here's the video. Rich versus Ash. There's the video, if you want to check it out. Schmo versus Schmo. We had a great time, back and forth battle. You know, I don't get to play with friends very often in Clash Royale. You know, I'm either like trying to get some games in really quickly on my own or whatever it is. I don't get to like play and talk with my friends very often. So that was a whole lot of fun. Yeah, Mark, I see what you're talking about, only banning one card for the first game. But I think one of the things, Clash Royale doesn't want ban cards. Ban cards, from a production standpoint, they create a lot of logistical challenges and that are really annoying to deal with and just slow down things, add things in. And see the question there, Jaguars, what are the ban cards? Ban cards also, they don't reflect the player experience, right? And you know, I think the plan is to do more and more of dual mode as time goes on. Obviously, it's already in Clan Wars 2. But, yeah, ban cards, they don't have them in the game, and it doesn't quite reflect the player experience. So, you know, as we've seen, CRL has not had bans outside of 2v2. But they were open to it. After seeing how much bans made the 2v2 meta, there were no bans in 2v2 in the spring season of CRLS 2019. And after seeing how much better bans made the game for 2v2 at World Cyber Games, they turned face and put bans into 2v2, which was a great call. 2v2 needs bans to really be good. But in head-to-head play, they don't really want bans. But this is I think this is a good move. I think, I've said this before, I've said it for a while since dual mode came out. I think dual mode really has a lot of potential to be the future of competitive Clash Royale. And maybe the future of Clash Royale overall. Hawaiian bound. You know, stop spamming. You know what? I'm going to remove that and just stop spamming it. Hawaiian bound. We get it. I'll have other guests on another day, but we don't need that. It's just me for the day. We only have 2 more matches. Does Expo Master use Expo? He has in the past. So Hog EQ for Benzer. And obviously Expo Master going Ram Rider. I like this Ram Rider Magic Archer deck. Magic Archer in general, with whether it be Ram Rider, Battle Ram, lots of value. Hog Rider to the right-hand side. Wheel goes to the left-hand lane. And Magic Archer getting value on the tower here for Expo Master. Really capitalizing so far on these Magic Archer opportunities. Still way behind right now is Expo, but Benzer giving him a little opening here. What I'm curious is about what Expo Master's plan is for the Hogs in the later part of the game, because obviously has not done well with them so far. And I see what he's doing here with the Ram Rider trying to break on through. I almost think that it's better for him to save the Ram Rider defensively, because now what does it do about this Hog? Has to overspend on the Hog, still takes damage. He's in a Ram Rider here again, and again, I think that maybe you save it for the Hog here. I'm not entirely sure. Bomb tower in. Does Magic Archer get damage on tower fast pass? It does not. Benzer Ridel. Still holding on. Ahead on both sides. Hunter and Lumberjack still give up a shot. That's the problem with this situation here. Magic Archer left-hand side for Expo Master. Hunter has to go high. A lot of damage in for Expo Master, and Lumberjack right on the right-hand side. Just like that, back in the game, needs to set up here on this right-hand side, find some way to stop this Hog. EQ in. Lumberjack not going to do enough. Hog does get one shot and gets a second shot. GG, well played. GG, well played. Tough situation there for Expo Master. You know, it's so hard to make the judgment call of whether or not he needed to try to find out some way to use the Ram Rider on defense to stop to stun, to hold on to the Hog Rider at some point. Wasn't able to do it. Benzer Ridel moves on. Expo Master had a good run in the tournament. Couldn't get it done here. And yeah, it's such a tough defense for Expo Master, especially in later parts of the game, right? This Hog cycle deck is more about defense on the in double and triple than it and defense in single, and then spell pressure in double and triple than it is about Hog connections. But Expo Master couldn't stop the Hog. And again, I really think that at least on one of those exchanges, saving the Ram Rider to stun the hog and to lock that hog in might have been the right call. And Expo Master couldn't use Bandit, and this one someone's saying I disapprove of spam of bridge spam with no bandits as Lawler guy because he used Bandit in the Mega Knight minor Scully Barrel deck from last game. So there you go. Benzer goes on through. There's the bracket link in the chat, by the way, for those of you who want to see more of it. And of course, we're going to look at that bracket at the end of the day as well. And we're now going to be heading on to our last match of the day here in just a moment. So speaking of last match of the day, let's take a look at where we are right now. I see a lot of you here. We are at 932 likes. Ooh, we are 68 likes away from 1,000 likes. Ooh, 67. I saw one more came in. Guys, let's hit 1,000 likes for this last match. Right, I see that there's about 1,500 of you here, 1,400 of you here right now. Let's hit 1,000 likes for the last match. Pump them in right now. Like this stream. Hit me with that, baby. Let's go. I very much appreciate it. And of course, if you haven't yet, sub the channel. Come on, sub the channel. Give me a little bit of love here as we go into our final match of the day. Miniminter and Razer both facing elimination in the lower side of the bracket. And you know that this would be a nice push for either one of these players to make top 3. Would be a good win for them on this in this event. Both players who I think are maybe just a tad underrated or maybe rated just perfectly. I'm not entirely sure. I think they're both maybe a tad underrated. One of them is going to move on, of course, and get a good look from a lot of people. Razer, of course, been in CRL for a long time. Miniminter was meant to be in CRL in the fall. Didn't end up happening. So we should be getting to our next. What does it mean if the cards are gold? LP Davis, once you max a card to level 13, you can then spend star points to make gold your cards out and give them little extra special skins and drop animations. How to play in the CRL tournament, Gregory Royale. Oh, did we hit 1,000 likes? We hit 1,000 likes! Yes! You guys. No, you. Me? No. You. Yeah, for sure you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Let's go ahead. Last match of the day. Can we watch the match? Oh, come on. There we go. Wall breakers picked up by the bomb towers, and I'm guessing we heard. Sure seems like it. And how do you get into CRL 2021? Top 1,000 finishes on ladder. Make the top 1,000 on ladder. And by the way, I was talking with Bag yesterday. Bag has a top 1,000 finish with a level 12 account. Finished 950 with a level 12 account. Was in the top 100 and then tilted later that day rather than kind of staying in there. But those of you who are talking about, oh, top 1,000 isn't possible. Bag did it with a level 12 account. So did Pompeo, although I don't know what he finished exactly. But Bag finished 950 with a level 12 account. So interesting. Rich, where does the Night fall on your tier list? Pretty high. It's pretty powerful right now. Split wall breakers here for Razer. Neither one connects. Archers, Valk, Delivery, and EQ, the primary methods for defending against the graveyards here for Razer. Wants to get some more damage here in single. Pompeo finished 33rd with a level 12 deck. That's bananas. So how can you play in CRL? Top 1,000 finish on ladder. That's how you do it. Now do the level 12 tower. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty hard. Although I did see on CWA's video the other day, Azealis won a top 200 or top 100 ladder game with a level 9 Electro Giant. So that was nutty. A level 9 Electro Giant and won a top 1,000. I think it was like top 200 or something. Tio Rio says Moogie got top 6 with a level 11 Royal Delivery once. That's crazy. top 1,000 as possible, or some people not even can get there. Yeah, agreed. And if you can't get the top 1,000 on ladder, I mean, card levels notwithstanding, which, by the way, if you think you can give a shot at winning part of that $1.6 million prize pool, I'd level up your cards if you think you actually are that good. But if you have max, if you have max deck and you can't make top 1,000 on ladder, you're probably not going to win money, and you're probably not going to win CRL either. Just a reality. The E-Giant was level 13. Panda Sensei, no. It's on video that Azelius had a level 9 Electro Giant. Did I watch the video incorrectly? I'm 99% sure that there was a level 9 Electro Giant in that Azelius video on CWA's channel. Yeah, he did have level 9 E-Giant. It was crazy. So guys, the way CRL is going to work, from what I've gathered, is that there's starting in February, I think, every month, top ladder finishers will, or maybe it might start with the January ladder finish. I don't actually know how it works, but I think it's the January ladder finish. The top 1,000 ladder finishers are going to be into the CRL tournament, and then advance, and that's going to happen every month. It's already built in, guys. More information on CRL will be released very soon. But long story boring. Every month, try to finish top 1,000 on ladder. And if you do, you have a shot at winning $75,000 that month. And if you do pretty well in those, oh boy, is he holding on here? If you do well there, okay, hold on. Let's focus in for a second. Wall breakers in. Snowball trying to help that skeleton. Can that one more fireball get in? Miner goes to the back. Doesn't get picked up in time. Fireball comes in. Miniminter wins by 93 HP. GG, well played. Miniminter gets the win. Let me go ahead and bring up this stuff. There will be more information on CRL coming in the future, guys. Don't worry. If you make the top 1,000 on ladder, you'll be in the competition. So that's the current story, as far as I'm aware. So just worry about crushing ladder first. Yeah, Cannon Cart was gnarly. Mark Littlewitz, same other crazy idea is that if there's a tie, no tower down, the winner is not decided by tower hit points, but the player with the fastest cycle. Nope, I reject that idea immediately. Mark, I'm rejecting that idea directly. That's my statement, and I'm sticking to it. The problem isn't getting top 1K, that's light work. The problem is I'm free to play on that focus on mastering only one deck. Well, yes, but once you make top 1,000, after that, it's going to be tournament standard. So if you can make top 1K on ladder, Arif, you're in. You're good. Go make that top 1K. Let's go. Gonna say why? Why would fastest cycle decide who wins in a tie? That's what standard is that? If no tower falls, both of my towers are completely untouched, but I have one of your towers down to 100 HP, right? So you've done no damage to my tower. I've done 24, 34 to one of your towers, and your deck cycles at 3.1 and my deck cycles at 3.2. Why would that lead to you winning? Right? There's no relevance or sense to that. Tower damage is what this game is about. So no, absolute rejection of that idea, Mark. It's an irrelevant standard for how to judge who should win a game. Some people say that a higher elixir deck might. There's debate on skill, right? Fast cycle decks might require more micro, but they're forgiving for decision making, whereas heavy decks don't require as much micro, but you make one bad decision, GG, well played. So there's an argument both directions. Do I know how many people will qualify for Worlds? No, I don't, but that information will be out pretty soon, I believe. More info, I think, is coming in the next week or two. Because beatdown heavy decks are less skillful. I mean, but again, that's certainly an argument. But again, you can't use cycle mark because if the difference in cycle is 2.6 versus 2.8, right? So it's just an irrelevant standard entirely. Damage is the name of this game, and I think the tiebreaker system right now is pretty much perfect. Actually, I think that you want to talk about things that Supercell absolutely nailed. The Clash Royale dev team nailed. It was putting in this tiebreaker situation. That's my opinion. Poison to the left-hand side. A lot of damage early on here, and that EWIS being high is bad news for Razer. Yes, Davis, they change cards each time. We're doing dual mode, which means you cannot repeat any cards from game to game. And no damage there from that Royal Giant. That's actually huge. Nimbus saying the tiebreaker should be based on who has more characters in their name. Yeah, I think that's the best one. That's the best standard for sure. Yeah, but Mark, then it would become, look, think about what that would mean for the game, right? Then it would become who can run the lowest elixir cycle deck and not lose a tower. I think that's actually a very boring idea for how the game would be played. Just playing the fastest cycle defense you can play, I don't find that to be compelling. Poison in. Razer trying to battle back. Mega Knight deep in enemy territory. Barb Barrel does come out. Miniminter going to get ready for another big push, though, and not much elixir here for Razer to contend with it. Royal Giant High. This should be the game right here. This should be the game in the match right here. I don't know if there's any way for Razer to stay up, and Razer knows. That's it. GG, well played. Miniminter continues along in the tournament. Rich, what cards like to see nerfed? Robert, my answer to that is pretty much always yeet Barb Barrel. Or not Barb Barrel, Barb Hut. Get out of here, Barb Hut. I'd like to see, my plan for Barb Hut is it costs 10 elixir, it has 1 HP, and it doesn't spawn any barbarians. That's my plan for Barb Hut. I think this current tiebreaker is great. I like it a lot. No Rules 1981 saying after tiebreaker, he doesn't think it's lowest single. All the towers should just lose HP while still playing. Minus 50 HP a second or something like that. It's not. That's an interesting idea. Mark Littlewood saying Miniminter is the best player to ever been in CRL. He's definitely, I would say this is me going out on a limb here, but he's on a short list of good players who are of age to be in CRL and who've never been. I think he's definitely on a pretty short list. And he was meant to be on a CRL team this last season. Wasn't able to play, but he was in talks. Yeah. Why don't they just nerf Barbarians because Barb Hut, Barb Barrel, and Barbarians are very strong right now? It's an interesting question. I don't think Barbarians are that strong. Barb Hut's not very strong now either anymore. I think Barb Barrel's really the thing. So we should have some of our brackets. Oh, the second I switch away, they give us the brackets back. So here we go. Here's the bracket for the remaining portion of the tournament. And tomorrow we're going to have a lot. I think pretty much all of these matches are tomorrow. So you can see Miniminter is awaiting. Miniminter, Benzer, Belly, and Lciop are all awaiting players to drop down from the upper bracket and take their first matchup loss. Yeah, we're done for the day. Let's just go ahead and jump through some of these matchups. So as you can see, Mini, Benzer, Belly, and Lciop all sitting there awaiting their opponents, who they'll find out from our opening matches tomorrow. And we'll see those opening matches. We do have still A few undefeated players there in the upper bracket. So here we go, looking at the upper bracket. JupiterKing is awaiting the winner of Air Surfer versus Bale. So the winner of Air Surfer versus Bale will go on to face JupiterKing. The loser of that matchup will go down into the elimination bracket. And again, all this information is, of course, available in the link I just put in the chat there on Challenge, so you can go ahead and dig into this on your own as well. But JupiterKing will face the winner of Air Surfer Bale, and whoever drops out of that match will go on to face Miniminter on the bottom side of the bracket, on the elimination side of the bracket. So that's one we'll look at very, very closely. Also in the upper bracket, Ruben versus Lucas will be playing in the upper bracket. And of course, the winner will move on in that upper bracket. Whoever takes the L in the Ruben versus Lucas match will go on to face Lciop in the lower bracket. So winner moves on. The loser goes on to the elimination bracket to face Lciop. Wallace versus Anaban also in the undefeated bracket. The winner will face the winner of Ruben and Lucas, and whoever takes the L there will go and face Belikin in that lower bracket as well. So a lot of stuff yet to be decided, but of course we are getting down to the wire here, getting down to some of the final players, and I believe that tomorrow we start with our BO5s. I could be wrong. We might have one BO3 left. But I believe we start with BO5s tomorrow. I could be incorrect. And I'll see if I can arrange for a guest caster for tomorrow. My guest, Eric Benham, was supposed to be here today, but he had a big thing going on, and he told me it was kind of 50-50, and ended up being too busy. But maybe I'll get him back on tomorrow, or we'll get someone else here tomorrow. Could be fun. We'll find out. Big Yawn, my max deck is only based on Expo. Expo, Hog, and RG can all share a lot of support cards, so I would suggest that you either switch to Hog or to RG and adapt. Adapt, Big Yawn. That's the name of the game, adapt. So tomorrow, again, Air Surfer versus Bale, Ruben versus Lucas, Wallace versus Anaban, Schwarzen versus Benzer, and you see we're going to get pretty deep here into the overall bracket. A lot to be decided. And again, that's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, whatever that means in your region, 4 p.m. UTC, you can see. Go ahead and check that out. We'll be right back here on this channel. If you haven't yet, guys, go ahead, hit subscribe, ring the bell, make sure you don't miss a moment of the action tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow and Sunday, we're back here with more of this All-Stars tournament. The conclusion is going to be here on Sunday, and more bigger, crazier stuff in January, maybe even late December, an open qualifier before the end of the new year for a big, huge prize pool event in January. The only way to find out is to make sure you're here. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter as well, where I'll have information about that potential open qualifier that might be sometime between now and the end of the year. Ooh, boy, pretty interesting. Thanks, guys. It's been fun. I'm Rich Slaton. I will see you back here tomorrow with two more editions of the All-Stars Clash Royale.